Hey, how'd my father die?
49 times we fought that beast, your old man and me. Had a chicken head with duck feet, with a woman's face too.
Oh, that's rad.
It was waiting in the bushes for us. Then it ripped off your dad's face. He was screaming something awful. In fact, there was this huge mess and I had to change the floors.
The floors?
You see his blood, it drained into the boards and I had to change them. But we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
Yo, never knew my dad, he didn't care about me. Dead horizon is all my macro binoculars see. Moisture farming all my life and not a drop spilled. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk.
But then a desert hobo came and told me we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
What is going on, everybody? Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Connection is unstable. Go figure. Go figure. Oh, you were not on screen yet.
I wasn't on screen yet. I was like,
every time.
I was like, wait. It's Tuesday. It's time for tequila.
Oh,
that's what I'm doing behind the scenes here. So
it absolutely is. Before we get started, I did see the news in the chat. I want to address that real quick, but
I'm pumped now.
I got to talk about that for a second before we get into the Cyberforce stuff. But I do want to give a quick shout out to a lot of people in my family got COVID over the last week, and everybody's starting to do good. So shout out to my brother, his wife, his 3 daughters. Shout out to my wife. I guess I might have had COVID last week and didn't even know of it. So craziness going around, but everyone's doing good. So shout out to all of my family. So I want to get that out of the way. But the news, who is it? Mike brought it up. Mike. Where you at, Mike? Yeah, this was interesting. So while I'm playing these intros, I'm watching the chat and listening to you guys or reading you guys talk. And Mike says, "Hey, I'll just got to ask right out of the gate, what's everybody think about the Deadpool news?" Which I hadn't heard yet. And he was saying that
I didn't hear about it
Hugh
either.
Jackman's back. Wow,
fuck yes.
That's cool as shit. I'm 100% down with that if that's the case, which I kind of thought that was going to happen. I mean, Ryan Reynolds has been trying to do that now for years to get Hugh Jackman to reprise Wolverine in a Deadpool movie. So, yeah, as long as they don't mess it up, I mean, I think could be pretty cool if it's going to be R-rated. I don't know.
I hope it's R-rated. I mean, Old Man Logan, that Old Man Logan movie, Logan, I keep calling it Old Man Logan because I'm such a comic book head.
Right.
You know, but basically that's what it kind of was. It was their version of Old Man Logan. That Logan movie was freaking phenomenal. And that's like the kind of Wolverine that I want to see. You know, I want to see stuff like that. Deadpool was great because Ryan Reynolds, like, he remained in control of those the 2, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think
he had a lot to do with
it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. I think it makes sense. They're friends in real life.
I think it's awesome if they're doing it. I think it'll put a lot of butts in the seats. I don't want it to be the Old Man Logan though. You know, like I don't want them to bring back Hugh Jackman to be Old Man Logan. I would like him to be just
regular Wolverine.
Regular Wolverine. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Like, how they're gonna do that with recasting Wolverine in the MCU and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, he's obviously not coming back to do the role full time. It's got to be just like a one and done for the movie. And I wonder if he's going to have a significant role or if it's just going to be like a cameo. Yeah, it's the first time I heard the news. So thanks, Mike, for bringing that up. Appreciate it. That's cool. I'll have to look into that after we get off the stream.
I mean, I wonder if if he's going to reprise the horrible Deadpool version he did. And now, imagine.
Now that would be,
that'd be
cool.
Fucking hilarious. I thought that was so great. Like, what was the end of, what was it? Was it 2 he did that? He went back in time and like killed himself in all the horrible movies he did.
They would have to do something like that. I think. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so Wolverine versus Deadpool. Yeah, and if that was the movie, a versus movie, I think that'd be pretty cool. So I'll read up more on that. But thank you for that news. That's cool. Say hi to the chat real quick. We got Darren Wagner in the house. He says, "Bow." Good to see you guys. We got Tarks9, member of the channel, says, "Hail Comicsgate." Hail to you, brother. Got Hail the Lore. Hail. I like that. Ja Rose in the house. Let's crack this bad boy open. Hail Joe M. Sontag, Tarks, Hail the Lore, and Darren Wagner. Yes, we're going to look at this omnibus. Stick with us. It's going to be a little bit. I mean, the show is always kind of long anyway. If you're new to the show goes usually 2 to 4 hours, depending on how much fun we're having in the chat. So, but this is a fun book we're going to look into. It's got a shit ton of awesome artists, including Marc Silvestri, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, David Finch, Michael Turner's in here, Randy Queen's in here, Walt Simonson's in here. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Hail to Snake Dog, good to see you. Got Astro Zombie in the house, another member of the channel. Appreciate you. Which, by the way, we went over 1,400 subs on this channel. So I'm gonna toast you guys here in a second for making that happen. Got American Comics Co. in the house. Hail to you. Let's see. Did I say Snake Dog? If I did, good to see you. We got Charles Rivas in the house. What's up? Hail to all. I like that.
That's what up, what up? What up, Joe?
Yeah, there was the Deadpool news that what up? I got Stippling Vaughn in the house. Phew, not late. Yes, you made it. Just, and that's why I run such a long intro, so people get a chance to get in here. I know not everybody gets a notification that I'm live at the same time. I know some people don't get in until like 20 minutes after the show started. It's weird. I don't know why that does that. Try to get everybody in here on time. Got Vaughn in the house. He said, you.
Vaughn edited Hunter Ninja Bear. He works with Phenom Comics. I met Vaughn in person at a Comic-Con. He was who Leandro was showing off the book and I was speaking about. He's very talented young man. And he knows a lot about comics. He actually bought a shit ton of comics from me too. Shout out to Vaughn.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Chimera's in the house. Hopefully it's not PG-13. He says, yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be a good R-rated movie is what it should be. You got Edwin in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. He's got a new project he just is getting out. Or has it launched yet?
Oh, that project looks phenomenal.
It does. It looks great. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I've been in and out of sickness and my family being sick over the last couple of weeks. So there's some things I have kind of missed. So I apologize. But
he had
does have an
signups
awesome
going on the last time that I was aware he was doing the signups for the project. So
got Mike TV Dub in the house. Is ahoy, Joe, Kayla, and the chat. I like that. Like all our members here. I appreciate it.
I want to say
the Illuminati. Illuminati. I love that name. That's a cool name. Another member of the channel. Appreciate it. I want to see him flow through that Wolverine costume they teased.
What costume? What color costume? Brown.
Yeah,
suit, Jim Lee suit. What are we doing?
Man, I missed a lot.
I missed all of this.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. Like, hopefully it's the yellow costume. That'd be pretty badass.
The brown and yellow or the blue and yellow?
I mean, it'd be cool if they did Bloodbone. Yes. Thank you, Gyro. Appreciate it. It'd be cool if they did I don't know, because the orange and brown or whatever you want to call it, the
yellow and brown.
Yeah, it's kind of my favorite costume, but you know, I don't know how any of his costumes would actually look on screen if they were to like actually do the mask or whatever, which would kind of be cool, but I don't know.
I
don't know. You guys got me intrigued now, just throwing that in the chat that's happening. I'm thinking about it.
Have you ever seen the live action, like I think it's like superhero fights? I forget who puts them out.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to work at the comic store in Woburn with one of the guys whose friends made the cowl for the Wolverine on that series, and it translated really well for them. So if you have a multi-million-dollar budget, I don't see why they can't do it, correctly. I mean, cosplayers do it all the time with less money.
Yeah, as long as they don't like animate it or something they did like Thor's helmet and stuff, make it just look absolutely like shit. I think it was an after credit scene or deleted scene from Days of Future Past. They showed his mask and it looked great. Yes, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. Deadpool will make him wear a suit, I'm sure. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's cool to have him back at least for one more time. Yeah, I can't imagine he's gonna be doing the role again for multiple movies, but just have him back for one movie. It's just good fan service. I think that's awesome. And I'm sure the MCU will just recast Wolverine after that when they bring in the X-Men. I'm sure it'll all go to shit after that. But this does sound cool. I'm excited about this. Yeah, the Wolverine vs. Predator one. Yeah, that was cool. All right, so tonight we're looking at the Cyberforce Omnibus. What did I do with that? Good Lord. Ugh. And this thing was a Kickstarter. Good.
No, whenever I think of Cyberforce, I always feel like Marc Silvestri was so inspired when he worked on that run of X-Men because he did the Reavers, because Cyberforce, like if you think of like certain characters in Cyberforce, they kind of reflect some of the characters in X-Men, like Cyblade, very similar to Psylocke in aspects. I mean, just there's certain things about it. They're a team of mutants as well. So I kind of think Cyberforce was basically what he would have done with an X-Men storyline to an extent if he had full control. But I know his brother wrote it at first.
Yeah, actually, I thought that was pretty cool that his brother was writing the book with him. But, so the story goes that this was actually a pitch to Marvel that he did before joining Image that he was pitching Cyberforce as a new book for the X title. And I don't know this for sure, but I've thrown this out before that I believe that he had certain mutants or certain characters that he wanted on this new team, including characters like Psylocke or maybe even Wolverine and like all these characters. And when the pitch was turned down and he decided to take Cyberforce with him to Image, he just replaced those characters with different versions of the X characters. So I think Psylocke turned into Cyblade. You get Ripclaw, which is basically a Wolverine. I would say of all the Image books, this was the closest to an X-Men book that they were doing. I mean, they even had the words mutants in all that aspect throughout the book itself.
Well, they were mutants.
Yeah. So I don't again, I don't know that for sure, but I've always thought that that's kind of, the way that kind of went down, but still it's awesome. It's awesome as hell. And this book is great. It covers, I think, 15 issues. It covers all Marc Silvestri's run, plus it covers Cyberforce Zero, it covers Cyberforce Annual, covers Cyblade Origins. So you get
Killer Instinct is in there. That's
Killer
right.
Instincts is in here. Yeah, so let's just dive into it. Stop talking now. Let's just get into it. So
I mean, they got to start with that Zero issue because it's Walter Simonson.
Well, they don't start with the Zero.
They don't.
No.
I don't know this book. What was this from a Kickstarter? Or
yeah. So this was Top Cow's been doing all these Kickstarters lately, right?
Okay.
The Witchblade Darkness, Cyberforce. I don't know what they're going to do next, but they put these omnibus out there, hardcovers. You also get a brand new, usually a half issue, or this is a reprint of Cyberforce, new Marc Silvestri cover. Here's, let me pause this.
Oh, okay.
That you usually get, and I'm a sucker for anything Marc Silvestri, so I go in hard on these. I got the T-shirt. I did an unboxing video earlier. If you guys go and check out the channel, you can see that. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I love it because I'm not a big fan of most of what Top Cow is putting out nowadays. I think like most of us, it's not Top Cow. So seeing this old stuff reprinted is pretty cool to me. Cyberforce was really
okay.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
See, I didn't know that.
Hail Jasper.
I did not know that about Cyberforce until you both were saying it.
There's some of the black and white to the original cover there. Dig that. Vaughn says, love both Witchblade ones. I'll have to get this. Yeah, the Witchblade ones, both the Darkness ones, and then this was great. And they're going to do a second one of this as well, I believe I heard. Because this isn't all of the issues. Like, they don't really get into a lot of the Joe Benitez run too much.
I don't know if it's on my side, Joe, but this video just went out of focus. Good velocity.
It must be.
So cool.
Yeah, tell me, chat. It must be because everything looks good on my side. But it does seem like I'm having some weird internet problems today, which is...
Aliens.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Today's a weird day. I'll say that. Absolutely weird day. But yeah, this book is great. And we're going to look at this entire thing. So like I said, stick with us if you want. If you really like Cyberforce, if you like Silvestri, if you like a lot of the Top Cow stuff, you're going to definitely love looking through this because it's basically looking through everything you could ever want out of the early Cyberforce run. Love the perspective there. With Ripclaw sitting on the chimney there. It's just great. I know Sean and I have gone over this before, so some of this stuff is going to be just kind of retread that we've done before, but you can't help but just love looking at this issue. I mean, this is absolutely great. I don't know where Kayla went.
I'm trying to fix my internet connection, so I'm trying to see what's going on here on my side. Because on my side it looks blurry. Everything, my whole screen. I might kick myself and come back in. I think that's what it's going to have to be. So,
Jabro said video is super, but you guys are crystal clear. Video is super.
Okay, now that's focusing. That's good now.
Deadpool fucked up the internet and Joe's as well. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it is. It's only Marc does it have. It's got the Finch issue. It's got the stuff that Randy Queen did. Michael Turner's in here a little bit. Tom McFarlane's issues in here. All the Jim Lee ones with the crossovers in here. So I mean, it's a great buy. Like it's a great collection of stuff. But I just wanted to pause it here on this double page spread. I still absolutely love this. This is great perspective, the buildings in the background. I mean, this was Marc, I think, kind of realizing what made Jim and Rob and Todd so popular and basically copying their formula with his books, going with these bigger double page spreads, these, you know, crazy perspectives and stuff. And this was just absolutely amazing. Amazing.
I love a good building jump.
You got to have them, you know, like it's just, you need them. You need them. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I guess I didn't need to pause it. I guess I held on it a little bit longer. So again, you're going to see, I think, was it Scott Williams that inked Marc early on in this? I know he inked some of the issues himself. But you're going to see a jump in his style where I think he really kind of starts to see really what Jim Lee's doing. At the time, Jim Lee was just, you know, the king of comic artists right now in this era. And you see him really kind of start to adopt that style going forward, especially when we get into the regular Cyberforce series.
I love the whole page on the right.
Yeah.
Just everything. And I love silhouetting.
Yes. Yeah, me too. I was on Malin's channel last night, and we were looking at some of his cable run, and he had a lot of like silhouettes and stuff, you know. And I know some of it is a little bit of a cheat because it's quicker for artists to draw, but if you do it right, it looks great, and it really brings out depth and makes things pop. Hale Lore said, "Oh yeah, remember what Kayla said about a good comic book art group? So I made a Discord just for stuff like that." Yeah, I saw you post that. I haven't seen a link for it though. Jasper said I received my Cyberforce this week as well with a t-shirt, the Velocity pin, 3 copies of the Marc Silvestri #1 reprint cover. Wow, nice. 1 copy of the Booth cover. Sweet. And the Silvestri plus Mcfarlane signed prints. That is awesome, dude. You went all out.
How did I miss this?
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I miss this?
I spent $100 on it, and that was kind of my limit. So going over that was like a little much. Like I wanted to make sure I got the t-shirt because I've gotten the t-shirt for every single campaign so far. Which, by the way, I thought it was pretty good. Looks good. I like it. Feels good. It's comfortable.
I want a Velocity pin. What the fuck?
I did not get the Velocity pin. No, I got the Mcfarlane print. There's a video I did of the unboxing, guys. If you want to see what I got, it's
I definitely think
they did a good
watch
job.
that. I think I did, but I was driving when I watched it. That might have been.
That's not smart. You shouldn't do that.
Do you understand the traffic? Like I'll be sitting there for an hour in one spot. So it's not really driving.
Oh, I got you.
I'm not like driving like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I feel like you can see better, more of the screen with this shot, even though we take up the lower left. This was
that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, Silvestri's the man. You know, early Silvestri, late Silvestri, whatever you want to say, but this is inspiring work in my opinion every time I can see Silvestri draw. But this mother character I always thought was a stand-in for Mystique.
Yes,
like absolutely. I feel like in this story, whatever he pitched, you know, it might have been, you know, Mystique instead of mother here.
I love the color with that what just happened with the color in those last 2 pages and then back into the full color. That is amazing. It's like a Wizard of Oz effect.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Chiodo, so again, guys, Joe Chiodo, however you pronounce his name, I will say Chiodo, did the colors on this book like he did a lot of the early Wildstorm books and what nature. And he did an awesome, this is a flashback on the left there, and he did an awesome job of just kind of dropping the colors out, really saturated, but the hair is really popping out, so you can see that it's velocity, it's ballistic as they were kids. I thought that was a great way of showing a flashback.
It is. That gives me ideas now.
But you know, I mean, that every time we look at old art stories, everything, it should always give you ideas, you know, because this was still when comics were comics, when comics were fun. And I think you can take a lot of inspiration from these old issues, whether it's art, whether it's story, page layouts, all that kind of stuff. I know I do every time I look. That's one of the reasons why we have the show, why we do it, you know.
Did you read any of this, or did you just admire the artwork?
I just
honestly.
admired the artwork. I know I read it. I read it at one point, right? You know, because
Okay.
but it's been a long time. I kind of know the gist of it, but I will tell you, like, I have not read it in forever. That's for sure. But you know, this is appreciating comic book art, and I can't read anyway. We know this. Alphonse, did I say that right? Le Grand Bear. Yeah, sorry. Silly question, perhaps, but are Mark and Alan Silvestri related? I believe they're brothers.
They are brothers.
Yeah.
Yes. Because Marc Silvestri's brother was the one that wrote this story. That I know for a fact.
There's another badass double pager there. You're
Oh,
gonna
wait,
notice
no,
this in a
wait, Mark
what?
and Alan Silvestri, not Alan Silvestri. I thought he was talking about Eric Silvestri. That's what my mind is today.
Oh,
Like, I thought for some reason I thought you said Eric, and then I saw it was Alan, because Eric
That's what I thought you
Silvestri was the one
Eric
that.
Silvestri. Sorry, yeah. Alan.
Yes,
I don't
I'm
think
not
is
sure
related.
Alan if
Sorry.
Alan is related.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Take
didn't
that
catch that either.
I take that back.
But yeah, this is a great double page spread
Look at
here,
that.
and great positioning. I mean, I love the camera angle, a lot of energy. You're gonna see that a lot in these early issues of Cyberforce. Like, he really leaned into, made sure there was enough double page spreads, enough big art, and that's the kind of stuff he was learning from like Lee and Liefeld and Mcfarlane, is to put that into the book. One, those would sell. The original art would sell great, but two, I mean, that was what was awesome about the 90s, was giving you some big in your face action. You know, you don't want to muddy it up with too many panels. You know, let the art breathe. You know, be
That last page, the perspective on the right top panel was amazing. Like 2 pages back now.
Let's see if we can go back. It's always hard to go back on this video because
On the video, yeah. Now we're going all the way back. That
crap.
right there,
There we go.
right hand side. Look at the perspective.
Yeah, I love it.
This action sequence, that is great. I love like the looking down the boob shot as she's in there.
Silvestri is good. I mean, all those guys are good at, but positioning the female characters just right.
Yes, that's perfect.
Jasper brought up the same thing. I always complain about this, but he says, I hate the gutter loss on the Top Cow hardcovers. I have all of them. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with omnibuses. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of the gutter loss. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't like graphic novels a lot in general, because you have gutter loss as well. Whereas a floppy, you can really kind of spread it out and you don't lose too much. So it is kind of a pain in the butt. Hail, Mike McMahon. Good to see you. Yeah, he shared a studio with Lee and Portasio, and it was Homage Studios or Homage, however you pronounce it. But he was part of that for a long time before Wildstorm became Wildstorm, and then Mark broke off and started Top Cow, and the rest is history. Jaro said Ripclaw was the coolest. Missed that character in that costume. Yeah, a lot of these early costumes were great. You know, I don't care if it's dated, you know, if it looks 90s and all that kind of stuff. Like, the costume designs in this era were just more imaginative. You know, like, I feel like a lot of costume designs current day, even for like these modified characters, they're boring. Yeah, absolutely boring.
That's what
they're not fun to look at.
Boring.
You know, like,
this is awesome though.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the storytelling that Mark does, and I don't know if a lot of it is Eric's writing or whatever, but I mean, I feel like they really cover a lot in the panels. You know, like if you look at this scene, oh shit.
Yep, there's a lot of written text
Yeah.
on the other side. I mean, they probably were working more bullpen kind of style, I would assume.
Yeah.
There probably wasn't even like a traditional script done for this, or if there was a script at all. I'd be very surprised if this was scripted. You know, it was probably written out and they probably communicated back and forth to each other. I mean, personally, if you have the ability to do that, that is freaking awesome because it saves a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, depends on how much. I mean, if this was Mark's pitch, I mean, he probably had an idea what he's doing with the story. Maybe Eric came in and did more scripting than anything. 'Cause back in the day, you know, Liefeld would do that a lot too, where he would write the book and you would have a writer on, but it would be more or less the guy doing the script. So that could be what's going on here. Is Eric might be doing more of the scripts and Silvestri is doing more of the story. But regardless, like, hold on a second. Let's see if I can pause this real quick. All right. Before I continue that thought, I love this shot right here. And of course, I pause it right when there's a glare. But I love how the heavy darks are right in the foreground and mid-ground and the background are really popping out. But this is the kind of stuff that really made me fall in love with comic book art in the 90s. As a nerd, I love the cross-hatching. I love the bounce shadows. I love the under lighting and all that kind of stuff. It just really, it gives you a lot to focus on. And it just, I don't know, cool factor, right? It just looks damn cool. Hail Geek Hazoo, he says, nice. Hail to you.
I'm looking at the hair right now. I was listening, like just the hair. I'm big on hair, and I like.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Hair is great.
All the guys from Top Cow are great at doing hair. I think a lot of people probably got that from Silvestri's style, but he was very good at drawing everybody's hair, male, female. It didn't matter. Like very, very well done. That's another thing too. You're going to see a lot of big face shots in these early Cyberforce issues. Like that was something he picked up from the other guys as well. That Killjoy character is badass.
Yeah.
Again, costume design, character design back in the early 90s, especially with Image. I mean, Marvel stuff was great too, don't get me wrong. But when Image came out, it was like Marvel on steroids when it came to the designs. A lot of, and you'll hear Malin talk about this too, a lot of manga influence, anime influence with these guys, especially when you look at tech. I mean, look at some of these buildings, the way they're drawn, the inside of these just kind of high-tech ceilings and walkways and everything they do. I mean, that is very anime to me. And it works great. It gives that futuristic style without having to be, without having to put this actually like in the future. It's what I love about these books. Yeah, look at that perspective, that top panel on the left.
It's just awesome.
Love that.
And then again, I love the silhouetting here with the pop of color.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
So, all right. So I forget who it was that posted online about these like vertical pages. Yeah. I didn't mind them. I thought they were fucking cool.
Oh, I love them.
I love them. It's something so different. And I just think for the perspective of how that's drawn, if it was horizontal, it would not give you the same feeling or effect.
Right. It's very, it gives you the feeling what it should. I mean, it's huge. Like some people don't like it because you have to turn the book. I guess that's the argument.
That's being lazy.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
You're being lazy. You're sitting on your ass reading. You can't do this.
I don't think you see enough of it anymore today. Like it's artists kind of really got out of the habit of doing that page turn like that. And I think it was cool, and you're going to see it quite a bit actually throughout this series. And even early Image was great at doing it. It's just, I like it's more in your face. You want to do it for like a real big action scene or a pose. And like that pit pose was great,
That's gorgeous. Just her body coming out of the panels like that. And just everything behind it. Really very dynamic. This is just amazing.
Let's see. Comic book one. Cyberforce was the best of the original 7 Image books. I wish we had gotten more. They were damn good. They were very damn good. I think they were underrated because at the time, Jim, Rob, and Todd were just the kings of the world. And Cyberforce came out and Silvestri was doing his thing. But the story was fun. And don't ask me about it too much because I can't quite remember it. But this was the closest to like an X-Men feel I thought that we got. And we talked about like if you missed when the show first started, this really had the feel of X-Men with the mutants and like all that kind of stuff. The cybernetic involvement of the technology was a cool add-on. And Kayla, like you said, like with the Reavers.
Yeah, I mean, because he worked on that Reaver arc when he did X-Men, which the Reavers basically, it was why can't I think tonight? The editor, and I can't even think, Jim Shooter, he basically was like, Wolverine can't kill everyone through that whole Dark Phoenix arc when he went and just freaking, he thought everyone was dead. Well, he thought everyone was dead. Wolverine killed everybody. That's how it was written. And then everyone was brought back as Reavers. So kind of, but basically, yeah, I mean, the reason why I say that is because this is a comic book, although like the Reavers were not really, well, Lady Deathstrike. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
I mean, this, I guess, yes and no, but because like this, the whole concept of this comic book, it was a team of mutants who had been captured by Cyber Data, because Cyber Data was like the big bad villain in this.
yeah.
And it was like actually, I feel like this would relate good to the modern world because they were like an enormous corporation and they wanted to do like the world domination takeover thing. So, and they created these advanced cybernetic technology and employ the technology to create shock, which I
Yeah.
believe it was like special hazardous operation cyborg.
See, and that's why I have Kayla on the
Operations.
show, because she can fill in the story detail. I'll drool over
Someone
the
help
art, and she
me.
can actually be like, "All right, guys, this is what it was about."
I think that's what it was. But basically, like they escaped. They, they were enhanced. Whatever the case, they escaped, banded together as Cyberforce to put an end to Cyber Data's plans, pretty much. And yeah, so
Snake Dog said, "I like the double layers, but 3 to 4 gate fold out verticals is hard to read, a la Wolverine 90." Yeah, all the time would be a pain in the butt, but every once in a while it's kind of cool. And then Gluminati said, "Yeah, I remember Fragus saying they'd go to the Intron, the
Shiro.
Shiro Intron Depot book for inspiration and would gatekeep them for each other." Yeah, from each other. Yeah, because everyone was trying to get the the latest kind of edge up on everybody. And like, look, they took a lot of stuff from anime. What is that? What are those movies back in the day? Appleseed. Like if you look at tech, if you look at all that kind of stuff, you can definitely see where they take it from. And they've all admitted it. And I think it's good too, because I mean, they took the manga kind of anime feel, they put it into Western art, and you got some amazing stuff in the early 90s. The tech in these books are great. When you look at just the futuristic tech, like, I mean, look at this panel right here. This panel right here where they're just in this, the cockpit of their ship right there. But it looks badass. Like that's what I love about comic books. That's what I miss about comic books. Nowadays, everything's, trying to be too like realistic. Jasper said, "Sontag, what was the Cyberforce high point and low point?"
Oh.
I think the high point for me was coming off of this miniseries and going into the regular series, the first maybe 5 issues or something like that, especially when they did the crossover with Wildcats. To me, the low point was farther on in Cyberforce, in my opinion, when Silvestri started to drop away. The story wasn't as engaging to me. Not like the art. The art kept me around, but I'd say the story was not as engaging, if I remember. That's what I would say. Kayla?
I would say my high point was the Wildcats crossover, definitely 100%. My low point was basically what they did with Velocity and Ripclaw, making a romance between them and everything. I just wasn't feeling that. I didn't like that in the storyline.
It's kind of like the
I just didn't like it. And I wasn't a fan of it. So you're all needed.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's typically Boston. Damn it, Kayla, you're making us not needed.
You're
By
all
the way,
needed.
another little nugget of Deadpool news confirmed it's going to be R-rated. Sweet. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you.
God. There is a Lord. Thank you,
that's
Jesus.
gonna be great. That's the way it should be. Yeah, the Killer Instinct is the high point in my opinion. Yeah, I think we all definitely agree that that crossover, I would say that's a high point of Wildcats too.
Yes.
I thought that was the high point of Wildcats. After that, it seemed like they kind of, okay, let me pause this here before we get into, that was the end of the miniseries, I believe. Now we're going to get into Cyberforce Zero, which is the Walt Simonson issue. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. I just want to pause it so we can kind of finish this thought. Wildcats and Cyberforce, I thought they had their first couple story arcs were good. They're good. They were focused in a certain way of what they wanted to do. And then it seemed like after that, they just kind of went, I don't know, this went in a direction I didn't like. And a lot of it has with me to do with the artist. Like I was a huge fan of Jim Lee. So when he stopped kind of drawing Wildcats, I kind of stopped reading. Same thing with Cyberforce. Big fan of Marc Silvestri. Wasn't necessarily a fan of the guys that came after right off the bat. Although I do like Joe Benitez. I wish, I don't know. So that's what I'd say. We're going to see the height of the Cyberforce and the Wildcats, in my opinion, in one book. Hunter Killer was pretty cool. Yeah. We got Leandro in the house. Hail, brother. How do you turn the page with your hands up?
Magic.
Yeah, I decided that it's better to record these so we can just kind of pause and then I can also focus on the chat better. It's something we did a couple weeks ago with the Brett Booth book, and I like it. I think I'm going to keep on doing this more often. But this is a legendary Marvel artist that Marc got out and gave him some work, much like Jim Lee bringing Barry Windsor Smith out and doing some Wildcat stuff,
You know what? I would just about Wildcats in general. Wildcats was just a great team to cross over with anything, because I loved every crossover Wildcats had, like with the X-Men and with Cyberforce. I don't know why I felt I had to say that, but I had to. So my energy's like this tonight. You're like down here, Joe. I'm like,
let's do it. I'm trying to. Sorry, I have to take a shot here in a second. Comic book one, I believe that's what it is. Also, the distinct color scheme of Cyberforce was so gorgeous. It was, when you had Chiodo and then you had Hamberlin. Was it Hamberlin? Brian Hamberlin later on doing the colors.
I'm not sure. I don't have the answer for that one.
Don't take my word on that, but they had some great colorists on this book. I especially like the early stuff with Chiodo. Was very good on the orange kind of yellow underlighting and all that kind of stuff. Just really made the books sing to me in a very attractive way to my eyes. Legendary Comic Heroes pit build figures has Ripclaw and the Monkey Man. Figure building has Striker action figures. Okay. Oh, okay. Tarks 9, hail. Good to see you, brother. Jaro said I was down with Wildcats until Alan Moore came on, oddly enough. I'll let you all in on a secret. I've never been a big fan of Alan Moore. Never. That's just me. Jay Lee, hail, brother. He says this issue with Cyberforce and Wildcats was the stories had no future after a certain point, and the writers were not set up to keep the stories going. That's good. It's a good take.
Yeah. The third volume in 2006, which ran, I think it was February to September, or was it April to September or April to October? That I know that one, that 6-issue series there, that was done by, was it Ron Mars and Pat Lee? But that was the one where Velocity, they did that romance thing with Velocity.
Okay, that's probably why I don't remember it. Because you said that, and I was just like, I'm trying to remember. I was like, I don't remember.
You know, I was just thinking, it was in the early 2000s. I want to say it was 2006, early 2000s. I know I was still in high school at the time. So. Yeah.
Oh, made me feel old right there. Snake Dog said the camera looks a lot better than when you were trying to stream it. I like to move. Yeah, like I was tired of messing around with that webcam. So I like this better. We can pause it. We can kind of I like it a lot better.
So the color.
Hail, Paul. Good to see you.
I think the one thing that I love about the coloring within this is the use of the muted tones and how they go into the more intense tones. He's doing, like, if you notice that there are certain colors that pop more than others, he keeps the yellows. Like, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this here to make it make sense, because it's making sense in my brain, but it's not coming out correctly. I got word vomit tonight. But it's like I'm paying attention to what he's doing with the yellows, like the yellows, the blues, the purples, certain color families.
I was just going to say the purples and stuff. We were talking about this at Malin's last night. Like, I actually like the pinks and purples when it comes to comic book coloring. Like, there are certain times when they can really make things pop and give a nice feel to the page. I don't think that should,
absolutely.
If they're done correctly. Yeah, I know the whole stigma behind it all, but like when you look at old stuff like this and you see the color schemes that they use, they're just, even though the color is dated, and I know that the colorists today are just phenomenal with the technology they have to use to color, but there's just something very, very special and fun about looking at these old colored books like this, especially because this was done off of Joe Chiodo's. I don't know if this is Chiodo, but most of the stuff was done off of like Chiodo's color guides, which was he would actually color by hand using markers or whatever, and then they would do that off the guides, and it had a more raw, I don't know, attractive feeling to it. Mike said that comment you made about the artist change affecting interest in the book is what I am worried about with Battle Chasers. Oh, well, yeah. And the great work Joe Mad did with the original run. Yeah, he's doing a mistake not coming back and drawing it. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't even going to check it out because of that. I mean, come on. If you're a legendary artist and you're bringing a book back, don't do it if you're not going to be drawing it. That's all I have to say.
There's definitely like a theme of yellow within this. Like,
that's what makes me feel like it's Chiodo, because he had all his stuff had like very heavy yellows and oranges, in a lot of his color work.
It's because the yellows you can do them very muted, and you can also do them very intense, and they still look good to each other, where not every color looks good muted or intense together. If that makes sense.
Julio Cesar Gonzalez Jimenez?
Julio Cesar Gonzalez Jimenez.
Okay, good. Sorry I butchered that.
Jimenez.
I love this comment, though. He says, you all really got me digging through old comic boxes to read along. Marc Silvestri is insanely talented. Back in the 90s, Marc, Todd, Jim, Rob, and Eric were all my idols. I agree. Same here, man. I grew up as a fan of Image. I always say that, like, I was a child of Image. That's what I grew up with. That was where I was inspired by. All those guys had a huge effect on me artistically early on. So I'm right there with you, man. The theme is yellow in this book. Yeah. The Baldy was sniffing his fingers. The finger test. Sorry, quit on myself. I did kind of catch that.
Oh shit!
So I believe this right here. We're going back to Silvestri. I believe this is part of the Image Zero that they put out, which I actually never got. I don't think I even know. Well, no, I take that back. I might own it. It might be in my collection somewhere. But I thought this, you're starting to see within his style. You're starting to see a little bit of the 90s Silvestri kind of coming out here. Like heavy shadow, heavy blacks here. You got a lot of the folds and the creases and the clothes. A lot of negative space filled in by colors, but I think it works very well for Silvestri's style. But I think I noticed that the biggest right here, and you're going to see that as we go forward into the main series here in a second. I was following Marc and the rest before Image ever existed. Marc, when he created Mr. Sinister, was on his game. Yeah, these guys created a lot for Marvel before they went to form Image. All right, here we go. We're getting into the Killer Instinct crossover here, so this is gonna be fun. Humberto,
exciting.
Ramos and Sandra Hope should bring back Crimson. Rest in peace, Brian Augustine. Crimson was all right. I was never a huge fan of that, to be honest with you. Hail, Baz. These books were action-packed and looked great. So much fun. I was going to mention that too. Like, that's one thing of going through this omnibus again after I got it. I was just like, this is the way you do an action comic book. You get enough action in there that's satisfying visually for the reader, and then you just have a fun story on top of that. That's an action comic, right? We don't need the Shakespeare stuff. Just give me some fun visual art with some compelling story, make it fun, give me that badass action, and I'm down.
Doesn't it get you excited looking at this stuff? Like, it literally, because the action they did. What happened there? Is that a fold out page? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
this is Wildcats 5. This is that crazy issue that Jim Lee did.
Why don't I remember this like this?
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite Wildcat issues because he's got this like or quadruple fold, whatever you want to call it, a couple times in this book, and it was just kind of cool for the day. Not many people were doing it, and yeah, so it opens up to this fantastic 4-pager right here. Like, good Lord, the original art on this would have been amazing. Look at Zealot. Look at Zealot through the entire page. Her body basically pulls you through the entire page with the leg pointing and everything like that. Great storytelling. Grifter looks badass in the background, but just that pose, drawn that big, is just
very dynamic.
Gorgeous.
I don't remember that ever being like.
Really?
No, not at all. I mean, but
Oh yeah, this whole issue's got stuff like. I mean,
I'd have to go back in the box now. I got to go in the box and.
This
Whole thing
Wildcats
out.
5 was one of my favorite issues that I really thought Jim was kind of coming out and really flexing, in my opinion, trying to show everybody that he was,
Like I
he was the
remember
man.
all of
He was the
this.
king.
I just don't remember the pages pulling out like that. I remember what I'm seeing, but I don't remember it being a pull-out page.
Baz
know.
said Kenneth Rocafort drew a great velocity. He did. He did. Jasper said, "Are you going through all 400 pages of this tonight?" Yes.
Yes.
Yep. We're gonna try to get through it quickly. That's why you'll see me kind of flip through. I'll try to pause on fun stuff, but I'll just kind of flip through the book quite quickly. Yeah, we're gonna try to make it. Wet Works Figure Comic, it uses yellow best. Malin has a new wet work looking chick in his awesome graveyard shift Omega Storm. Yeah, everybody check that out. Absolutely.
Wet Works was amazing.
Jaro said Jim Lee flexing all over everyone right there. Yeah, he was. This issue to me was just like he wanted to come out, throw his dick on the table, and be like, "I'm the king, motherfuckers," and he did. This was peak Jim Lee to me. Coming off of X-Men, going into Wildcats, and this was right before he kind of pulled back. But I think this was peak Jim Lee to me for him just going out there on top of the world, mid '90s, early '90s, just absolutely killing it. Beautiful work. I have the absolute Wildcats with a 4-page fold out. It looks amazing, oversized. Oh, dude, I need to get that. I didn't even think about that. Having that be an oversized book with these pullouts. Yes, I need to get that.
I don't know why I remember these pages being different. Like I don't remember them
that.
pulling
just pause
out
it for a second. Yeah.
But then again, I haven't looked at these in like such a very long time. Like I'm familiar with what I'm seeing. I just don't remember it pulling out.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind right now.
There's a Waller versus Stormwatch coming out in November. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I don't know how excited I am about any of the Wildstorm stuff coming out in DC this year. Hail B Rose, another member of the channel and the creator of Cerebrum, which I did a cover for, by the way. That is still available on Indiegogo. Guys, go back it today. Back my cover. Just because I like to see those numbers climb. We got Radmuel.
Radmuel? I'm not sure.
Radmuel. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but he says, damn, I agree. Warblade is killing it. Wow. Yeah, Warblade was another badass character. This Misery character was awesome too, but let's take a second and appreciate this again. 4-pager right here. This is drawn humongous. These 11 by 17 pages, 4 of them put together. They're huge. The perspective is great. The anatomy is great. Scott Williams inked the fuck out of this. You can see. Look at. It's shiny. It's smooth. It's slick. Fuck. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this was when Jim could focus totally on drawing instead of holding his little one in his lap like he did the first meeting, changing diapers during the meeting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Jasper, there's DC ad in the back cover of the book that might have been the trade for the Top Cow using the Wildcats pages. It's probably a good point. Very good point. I was wondering how they're able to actually use these because these are all Wildstorm DC owned. So I'm glad they worked it out though. This makes this omnibus even that much more better that you have this entire crossover in here so you can read the entire story. Again, look at the tech here. I think someone said that Jim Lee had a lot of assistants. I think Carl Allstetter did a lot of the tech stuff for Jim, layout wise, and he did a great job. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what's missing with today's industry comics, but you will get it with Reaper Destroyer. Let's go. That's right. Thank you, Landro. Appreciate it.
Someone drop a link.
Hell yeah. So here we go. Get back to Silvestri. And what I like about this is you get to bounce now between two masters of art. At the time, Jim Lee was absolutely on top. There's no denying that. But you also get to see, with this crossover, you also get to see Marc really starting to kind of see what Jim was doing that was so popular and putting that into Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of a style change in this, especially with the bodies. I mean, the bodies look a lot more Jim Lee kind of bodies going forward that you're going to see Mark do. I mean, the page on the right, if you look at Ripclaw, I mean, that if you glanced at that, that could be Jim Lee. I mean, there's certain things he does that is very Jim Lee esque. You know, I mean, he was a smart dude. He saw what was selling, and he's talented enough. He could do it. You know, in some ways, I think he did it better. Oh, man, you guys are killing me with the names tonight.
I definitely like Silvestri's women better than Jim Lee's women.
Oh, hands down. Silvestri could definitely draw some of the hottest, most attractive women in comics. Chaotic Studios. I'm so unsure about the new Wildstorm being released. Me too. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm guarded because I love these characters. I love that universe. I don't think it should be in DC. So I don't think they're going to be used correctly, in my opinion.
Did you see what was done with Grifter? Enough said.
Yeah.
That's it. And if you're curious to know, look what they did with Grifter. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Look into it, or go find and read it. It's an abomination. I said it.
You got a bunch of people that are that don't give a shit about the characters that are writing the books. You know. So, Jay Lee said, "Remember Jim got Mark to do Batman, so everyone is over helping with Batman since Zaslav, if I said that for now." Has stated his main focus, and Zaslav, that's what it is now on DC Comics. Yeah, well, I mean, Mark's been working on that Batman for like 10 years now. Finally got it out, which is awesome. I'm glad he did. Oh man, I have to see what I got. I got some stickers and things of that nature, but Hail the Green Laser, good to see you. Yes, there's the link. Appreciate you. Everybody go check that out. That is my book. If you don't know, I do have a book called Reaper Destroyer out on Indiegogo now. If you love Top Cow, if you love Wildstorm, if you love these old style comics, you're going to love this. You're going to love Reaper Destroyer. Back to some Jim Lee art here. This scene, before we get into it, it's so fantastic. Cool. Yeah, to have almost a quarter of this book all with them doing in this free fall, great idea. And you don't have to draw a lot of background, so that makes it a little bit easier too with the speed of the drawing. But great idea to have this scene just be this absolute free fall, and you can work all this action into it. Some of the writing's pretty witty too. No guns got you. Yeah, they took the guns away for sure. You should make a Reaper Destroyer guitar pick as a stretch goal like Darkness. I've thought about it. Yeah, I have thought about it.
Really cool.
Oh, nice. Got the autographed version. I should have got the autographed version. I'm actually kind of upset I didn't get the autographed version. I swear they make any of these characters woke, I'm going to lose my shit. Well, just be prepared, man. Just be prepared. That's all I got to say. Hell yeah. Survive Infinity 0088. I don't know if I said hail to you, but hail to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Got Max in the house. He needs to bring the original Cyberforce back. The attempts to modernize were terrible. I agree. I don't like any of the reboots they ever did. And I've said this before, if you're going to bring back any of these characters that aren't around anymore, bring them back in their own continuity and continue their stories. I don't need reboots. I don't want reboots.
See, I remember all of these vertical pages like this. Yeah. I just don't remember like the ones that were the pull-out pages. I remember them being like, well, I guess they are I remember them being vertical for some reason. I don't remember so I'm like, huh.
I like Spartan's moose knuckle going on right there. A bit of his crotch area. A little tight there. Attention to detail there, Jim. I like it. You know what I'm talking about, Kayla?
I never thought it was called a moose knuckle. That's like that's for someone with a fupa that's walking around, and it's not a camel toe, it's a moose knuckle at that point.
It's a moose knuckle, yeah.
I mean, that's just that's a crotch shot, like a good crotch shot. Yeah. He's packing. I guess he's packing.
Yeah. You always have to draw the crotch very well when you're drawing characters, guys. Don't shy away from it. I'm just saying, it visually wise, it does work. You need it. Bresky the Great says, salute the chat, salute Joe and Kayla, salute to you. Hail. Good to see you. Jaylee said, dude, I have 4 long boxes of autographed books. You are the man.
Jaylee has everything autographed. I'm 100% convinced. Like everything. As soon as something, he's like, I got this autographed.
He's
We
got
need to
everything.
like do a tour like of
Oh, it is
Jay
signed.
Lee's autograph stuff.
Thank you,
It's
Jasper.
signed?
I appreciate that. I didn't realize that this was it. So it is signed. I'm an idiot. This little booklet in here has a signature down here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. So thank you for pointing that out, man. I thought I missed out, but okay. Appreciate it. I'm an idiot. I can admit it.
Now this, I love this too.
Yeah, this so again, flexing. The entire crossover is great. It's probably my favorite crossover that Image ever did with their characters internally. And it's because you got Marc and you got Jim, and they're both doing the absolute best they can do on their books at the peak of their characters, and you get these awesome double page spreads, detail, pose. I mean, you're going to see some of the stuff Marc is doing in the next book where, I mean, some of the foreshortening and posing he does in the fight scenes is just absolutely gorgeous. I agree. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is it time for a shot? Like you say cheers, I think shot.
I say we do a shot. I want
I
to.
think so,
Okay,
too.
we're gonna pause this for a second.
I
I do
don't
want
even
to
have
do
a
a shot.
glass.
Holy shit! Is that all I have left?
I get this.
I do want to say a real quick
where you
shout
go.
out to the chat. We crossed 1,400 subs on this channel, so thank you so much for that. The channel keeps growing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And we went over 800 backers on Reaper Destroyer, which is absolutely insane for a first timer like me. And I appreciate each and every one of the guys and gals that have backed that book, and that will continue to back that book as we go forward. So hail to the chat, hail to the backers. I love you all.
Hail.
Okay. On with the show. Again, here we go. I'm talking double pager after double pager when you're looking at this crossover. Here's Marc coming back and doing his thing. He does a very good jumping from, I guess this isn't a building. He's actually jumping from an aircraft in this, but you got Ripclaw and Warblade next to each other, just free fall. Two of the coolest characters in the early Image days for sure.
Just great hair on everybody. Like
Yeah.
the poses are great and everything.
Hair, right?
But it's
You gotta
just
have
like
good hair in comics.
I always like, I don't know, for some reason I always focus in on the hair. Is it the years of hairdressing? Probably. That's what it is.
That could be. That could be.
They're giving her 80s Paul Mitchell hair. No, I love big hair. That's just
to me in comics you have to have big hair.
yes.
I mean, it's just because one, dynamically it looks good,
Looks
aesthetically, energy wise, it can add, much like a cape, hair can add a lot to a character as well.
Absolutely.
Jay Lee said, if you ever notice, Jim has 12 female poses he loves to use in all of his books. He uses them over and over.
That is
I
true.
can see that.
That's very true.
There's probably only so many poses you can put a character in. If you look at the poses here that Silvestri put these characters in, I mean, that's like a female power pose, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Just like the males. I mean, look at Warblade and Ripclaw. I mean, that's a very powerful pose right there. Oh, dude. I saw the original of this on Joe Chiodo's selling the original color guide. One of these days I'm going to buy it if someone doesn't buy it, but I want to get this at that double pager. We have to look at the Witchblade Darkness crossover next. Oh, we should do that. We should do that.
See, I love this perspective here on the right panel there.
Right thank corner. you.
That is such a great shot.
Yep.
And that's actually a very hard angle to draw from, too. If you think about it. Think about how many people butcher a shot like that. Because he's at an angle and you're looking upward. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that is gorgeous.
And this is what I was saying, like, this issue specifically, you see a lot of awesome foreshortening that Silvestri does with the use of the claw hands on both Ripclaw and Warblade, throwing them at the camera and just, slashing them around or whatever. And you don't really see Silvestri doing a lot of the foreshortening a lot. Like that's not really his game. I mean, he does it, but it's not like overly done. Like Larson, is crazy with foreshortening.
Foreshortening, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just it's all over the place. When Silvestri does it, it's for a certain reason. Yeah, and it pops out when he does it. You know, yeah, certain purpose, and that rip claw up there at the top is great. And you're going to see some Warblade where he does the same thing, and it's oh man, look at that. That splash right there. Love it. Love the pose. The colors are great. Again, Chiodo killing it on the colors for this. I love the blue. You know, just kind of just.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's great. That's another one that I didn't get a chance to buy it, but it was on sale on Joe Chiodo's website. The original color guides to that splash. I wish I could have picked it up, but it sold. I was so disappointed. Gutter loss. A good designer like Bancroft would fix that. Probably. I don't know how you do that with an omnibus though, because you don't have that same kind of gutter loss in the floppies.
No.
Sarcoidic. Yeah, why can't I pronounce that?
Sarcoidic.
90s hair was the best. It's true. It's true. It's funny because when I'm okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna finish that thought. The right page here. When I was talking about like doing a scene of a book, like this scene is so well done because I mean you can see. First off, that perspective is badass in the first panel there on the right page. But when he stabs Warblade, it just the almost kind of slow motion effect, it's cinematic effect of pulling the camera out as you slowly see Warblade collapse and just fall into the ocean. It's just master storytelling. You could have done that in 2 panels if you wanted to, but he broke it up into 5 different panels to really kind of give you a chance to really invest into that scene. Very well done. Back to the 90s hair. I still try to put 90s style hair into comic books, even though I try to update it with current hairstyles, which you should do. But energetic hairstyles in the 90s. Yeah.
All of this I
Hail, Past Master Dan. I've hit the like button, Mr. Sontag. Thank you. I appreciate it. We also have Corey Barton in the house. Hail, everybody. Hail. His book he's working on looks badass. I can never remember the name of it.
Everything about that page.
It dropped. Hold on a second. I missed the page.
Whose book?
Corey's book.
Oh, both of the Barton brothers are extremely talented.
Oh, yeah, disgustingly talented. Those guys, absolutely. But everything that Corey's been posting lately has been amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
Androminoids.
Androminoids. Thank you.
Androminoids. Is that what it is?
I believe that's what it is. Yeah, everybody check that out. He's doing the best work I've ever seen him do. Color and line work. I mean, he's absolutely killing it. He's taking a bunch of level up in his work. I mean, it's just I cannot wait for that book to hit. I think it's going to be a fun read and visually going to be awesome.
Yeah, he does some great perspectives too, and he doesn't like when there was a post like was it a week ago or a couple weeks ago that he did of one of the characters and then the city in the background. Like he didn't cheapen out on anything in the shot. It was fucking awesome.
Hail the Lord said, I like how Joe has a small glass and Kayla just drinks right out of the bottle. I see how you are.
I don't have a shot glass.
Calling me out.
No, the last page I loved. Just the action sequence, the panels at the bottom, just the bigger overall. It's great for storytelling. It conveyed what was going on great.
If you want to become a good storyteller, I mean, study guys like Silvestri, Capullo, I mean, Jim Lee. All these guys are great storytellers back in the day with their panel layouts. Jasper said that Pro Secret, Bancroft fixed all the gutter loss on Lucent by moving the art away from the center. Yeah, I guess you could do that. It just depends on how much room you have to move it. I guess when you're originally drawing it, you want to be mindful of the gutter for sure. But again,
now they just do lay flat. You can do a lay flat novel.
Yeah.
Like hardcover graphic novel, lay flat, but it's more expensive to have that kind of binding that lays flat.
And back in the day, floppies would lay pretty flat, so you don't lose a lot in the gutter like you do with these like omnibuses and stuff. Like this, the actual issue to this, you get a lot of this gutter loss, or you get to see a lot of the stuff that we're not seeing right here. Which, by the way, here's another vertical double pager, which I think is just great. I love this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just beautifully done.
Everything's just like popping out with all the speed lines, right? So speed I can't, it's
Yeah,
blurry on my side.
it's blurry on your side?
Yes, my computer's
Oh,
doing
that's
it
too bad.
again. I feel like
That's too bad.
I gotta like
It's look
stop camera for a second and then it goes back
okay.
to normal.
I was gonna say it looks great on my side. It's too bad. But yeah, the background, the way they do the clouds, it's kind of like clouds plus the speed lines adds the energy of everything. Again, that came from a anime kind of feel, the manga kind of feel that was
Akira.
adopted.
Makes me
Yeah,
think of
yeah.
Akira for some reason.
It adds so much energy to the background. You don't really notice it, but your eye, it takes it in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rick Saylor in the house. Hail, Rick, member of the channel. Appreciate you, brother.
Hail, Rick.
Henry Bemis is in the house. Every page Joe has shown has been an absolute banger. God, I miss this stuff. Hell yes, dude. And that's what
why
this
you
show
gotta
is here for.
back Reaper Destroyer and look in the back issues. 'Cause that's the only way you're gonna get that feeling again. Which
100%.
if any of you are in Massachusetts, I will be at Harrison's for the month of October on Saturday and Sundays. So come talk to me and buy some books from me. Because we got more
nice.
back issues than anybody. So
I like that. Everybody pay attention to that. We need to get a link to the shop and drop it in the channel. That's what we need to do. Lord Nemesis Haley says Joe is a lightweight. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I don't know if Larry even updated. He probably has a Facebook. Let me check and see. Let me Google
Henry
it.
Bemis says he backed twice. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Pastmaster Dan, I want to do a panel with all the people I've given nicknames to doing the thing I accuse them of as a gag. Now that would be cool. I like that. Kayla's friggin' drinking speed lines on every frame. Let's do it. So this is yeah, this is just beautiful art here. Again, this is the apex I thought of Wildcats, the apex I thought of Cyberforce. You're going to see as we get a little bit farther into, after we get past the Killer Instinct series, again, it's just another killer double pager here. Jim Lee just absolutely destroying this. I mean, look at the background, the rubble and all that stuff. Warblade never looked cooler. You know, damage like that, his hair's all over the place. That is some energetic drawing hair. Like, that's what I love about what you can do with long hair, which I prefer long-haired characters because of that. You know, like if you look at Reaper Destroyer, I've got a lot of long-haired characters because they're just fun to draw. But yeah, this is just absolutely gorgeously done. Joe Chiodo just knocked it out with the colors as well. Jaro is asking for a link to the shop if you got it. Rick says he'll send his shopping list to you. There you go.
I'm looking right now. So it looks like he is revamping the webpage, but there's nothing on it. The only thing he has on it right now is a Werewolf by Night number 32, which is CBCS, which is the alternative to CGC, because CGC has been fucking up a lot of graded books. If you've experienced it, I can understand. They fucked up a couple of my books. And it's at 1,500 right now, but there's way more than that in the shop. If you went on Google and just Googled Harrison's and look up pictures, it's a really large comic book store. Let me find he probably has more things up on Facebook. Yeah, Larry's the man. I was shopping with Larry before I ended up working at the shop. So yeah, like that was the first comic book shop I shopped at, and I ended up working there because I was in there so often. Yeah, CGC lost over 350 books, some worth thousands. They damaged a couple of my books. They folded my book in the case. So I have books that say like they're 9.3, 9.5, 9.8, but they're folded and they weren't folded. So, and then they were like, oh, we can press it for you. Well, how do you fold someone's comic book cover in the case? I don't get it.
Right.
So.
Hail JDA in the house. He said, I got this from Top Cow and just read it recently. Hell yeah. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it because we're definitely diving into it.
We're back. I have vision. Wow. Right in time for this amazing.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Right.
Let me pause it here for a second.
The art on this is gorgeous. You
Yeah.
know, look at her face and the body proportions. I can't imagine this being horizontal. It would not convey the same thing.
Right.
But
Yep. All right, here we go. Yeah, again, Silvestri's the man. It's just
I just think Velocity was such a cool character.
well,
You
that was
know,
Misery.
was that Mystery? Looks like
Yeah, that's
Velocity
Misery right
there.
there. Yeah, but I will agree with that statement that Misery was a cool character. I don't know how much they actually used her after this.
Oh
To be
wait, there's
honest with you,
Velocity there.
yeah,
It
Velocity
was
was. I mean,
the Mark. The Mark fucked me up.
all these characters are badass. Let me just hold on a second. Like that cover of Ballistic on Cyberforce 4, badass. You want
And
to
I'm
talk about
blurry again.
powerful female characters? I don't care what anybody says, about the 90s female characters. Like those were strong, badass female characters without having to be written in a certain way. Ballistic was amazing. Amazing character. Zealot was amazing character. I
Yes,
mean, they were
Zealot
well
was
done.
awesome.
Yeah. And
Hold
now
on,
you
I'm
get
blurry
replaced.
again.
Nah.
I'm
Now
sorry.
you have to have like the woke aspect of the strong female characters. We had it all along. And this is living proof right here. I mean, what more do you want out of a female character? I mean, like that is absolute shit right there. I just
A,
gotta
s-
say.
a strong female character doesn't need to say that they are a strong female character. The actions explain it all.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I wish I could see this right now, and it looks just blurry on my end. My Comcast, you suck.
It's funny because I have Comcast here, and usually it's pretty good. Let's see. JDA says Velocity got her own miniseries done by Kenneth Roquefort later. Yeah, that was really good. We'll look at it one of these days. I know that Leroy did a show on that once. Kayla, maybe if you tried bouncing out and coming back in.
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do for a second because.
Yeah, I'll just leave this pause. Do that, and
All right.
I'll wait till you get back in. I'll just
All right, let me leave and come back in.
shoot the shit
Hold
with
on.
the chat for a second.
All right.
Let's see. Henry Bemis says to Jasper, if your point is to sell. Oh, I got you. I'm talking about that. Strong female characters don't have to look masculine for fuck's sake. Yes, I agree. And that's what was cool about the 90s characters, man. That's why I don't understand where people they want to attack the exploitation of female characters or whatever in the 90s. You had
I can see.
woohoo, it worked.
It's perfect.
You had strong, sexy, feminine female characters, and they were badass. They had they could have all these weapons and they could kick ass. And we, as comic book readers, fans, all accepted them because they're awesome, and they didn't have to be looking like men or being held down by the patriarchy and all that kind of stuff. Like this is just fun, good old storytelling. I miss it. Let's get back to it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, those are the female characters that made me fall in love with comics. Everyone that knows me knows it was like the Dark Phoenix saga in general.
Oh, yeah.
Just Jean Grey was just incredible. But yeah, I mean, nowadays it sucks because they went too crazy with the I'm a woman, I am strong, I can beat a man and this and that, and they demasculize the male characters, which that's not what you want to see. You want to see that, they can hold their own without having to do any of that. It's bullshit. They have to put emphasis on demasculating the male characters. It sucks. Yep. So,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I just don't like the going away from the feminine aspect of how the female characters looked and the curves and just stuff like that, seeing females drawn more manly, a big and burly kind of, or just, I don't know, less than average, less than a average woman walking down the street. So.
Yeah. And I see a lot of you guys putting in the chat about, you could take that a lot of the 90s female characters looked awesome and were badass, whether it was Marvel, whether it was Image, like they just
all of them.
They were all awesome. You know, like I don't know where we went wrong in society, but like let's
We're
get back to it.
we're
Let's get
listening
back
to
to it.
people talking about how this is too sexy, yet they're sitting there on their OnlyFans. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The
Yeah,
hypocrisy
exactly.
is fucking unreal.
People
Okay.
people just want to play the victim. We're in a victim
Yes,
society.
victim mentality. They're trapped in it. It
Yeah.
sucks.
What's not a victim mentality is this badass page right here. This
Yes.
this double page layout here. I mean, it's just it's gorgeous. Rip claw, side blade looks bad at side blade. Yeah, side blade looks badass. Yeah, impact in the background, heat wave. So well done.
So much dynamic.
Radamil says modern mainstream art and story took a nosedive. It did.
Absolutely.
It did.
Absolutely. So it's not even like the art can't even draw you in now. So if you were someone that would read something based on the art, I mean, you're going to get shitty art and you're going to get a storyline that sucks. You know, it's just, it's horrible.
There's another badass shot of Ripclaw there, kind of showing the power that he can kind of extend his claws. I mean, like that kind of stuff made him and Warblade really cool. Dynamically too. Just to draw. I mean, that's fun, right? As an artist, that kind of shit is fun to draw. You know, Reaper Destroyer can kind of do certain things like that as well. Just because why? Because I want to draw it. You know, I like to put things I like to draw that's fun to draw in my comic book. And why not? And I feel like that's what the Image guys did. You know, nobody's holding them back.
Please don't get me started on that.
I'm very excited that the X-Men will finally get a person of color female with a new rogue casting. I keep seeing the fan casting going around. I can't imagine
they're not true fans. They're not true fans, because if you're a true fan, you're not going to try to change what was already done. Point blank, period. It was already done. It was already made. So why would you try to change it into something that you want to reflect whatever? Okay. So there's a character of X-Men is already very diverse. You don't need to force diversity into something 100%. That is already diverse. Period. Yep. That's it. The more I see about it, the more it like infuriates me. I get very upset when it comes to the X-Men, because the X-Men, that was like, you know, that's my everything with comic books. The X-Men are why I love comic books so much.
Yeah.
So it's just bullshit. Okay. So it's bullshit.
Past Master Dan said, "I'm a victim. Not enough women want to show me their boobies." I agree. We are all victims for that. Hell Lord said, "Thank you, Kayla." That's right. Love those rants. Let's see. Henry Green says, "Comics are a visual medium. We know what the characters look like. We don't. Why don't they understand that?
Because they're not a comic book fan.
Yeah,
they're not a comic book fan. They're a person that likes the comic book stuff because they feel it is the in thing to do. That's what it is. It's you know, if you're a comic book fan, you don't want to change certain things. You can have an opinion on a storyline or a character design or something, but you don't want to change characters that are already established, you know, that have been established for years and years and years. You know, it's ridiculous. Hot babes make books better. Absolutely. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. I'm not even a lesbian, and I agree with you. I don't want to see ugly girls up in the books, as shallow as that seems. I want to see women that I aspire to, like, you know, gym motivation or something.
Rick, you got to make the boobs bigger. You got to do it that style. See that?
They have to be proportioned correctly.
Yeah, you just got to do a little bit of a spacing right there. Yeah, but I agree with you. I agree.
They just have to be proportioned correctly. That was like a teardrop.
Preach it,
Joe.
I always felt bad for Mom. She had shoulder boulders. Really? I like that.
Joe, are you hating on people's mothers now? Is this what this
me?
is becoming?
No, never. Maybe in the band days.
Would that make you a motherfucker? Just
it
wondering.
Would. Been there. That and grandma fucker. Yeah. Been all around. Trust me.
Grit. Whoa.
Long story.
All right, Jasper. I don't want to see pepperoni nipples.
I was just gonna say some big areolas there.
No one wants to see salami nipples. I mean, I guess if you're into that,
Art
kudos
tips
to
by
you.
me. That's right. Here's a very awesome pose. Very strong female pose there by a Cyblade. Love that.
That is a
Love the
power.
tilt in the hips. Yeah.
Yep. Love it.
Feminine. Love it.
Feminine and strong and sexy at the same time. It conveys all of that. So it pleases everybody. Now I love this too. The side shot here. That's great.
Great legs. I mean, there's
Great legs, great butt too.
great
Because
feet, great everything.
everything. The arm, the shoulder there, the rib cage. It's great.
Can't dig her up. I have her in a box in my closet. That's
what?
That's some stuff there. That's some stuff, Past Master Dan. I'll just say that.
Why am I horrified by that comment?
It's simple character. It's simple. Create something new or use the characters that are not known and they are already black or gay, but don't fuck up ones already known and loved. I agree.
All right. It's because they're lazy and they don't want to spend the money on promoting those characters. That's what it comes down to. So things that have already been established because of the name, they feel it will already bring in the money and bring attention to. That's just how it is.
Jay Lee said that what Anna Paquin that played the original Rogue, is locked into 2025 with the character. Well, you might not be getting an X-Men movie until after 2025, to be honest with you.
I definitely don't want the actor that played Elton John to play Wolverine. I'll tell you that much.
You know what's cool about this scene? So this is a scene like nowadays, this would be a very woke scene, right? Like this dude is coming up to Velocity with very bad intentions. But he gets his ass kicked by Impact, who just a funny kind of just wedgie thrown into. That's what I'm saying. Like today, it would woke. But today it would be a woke scene. Like they would play this off that she's an attractive woman being hit on by every guy there, But back in the day, you could just do it as it's meant to be. This is just meant to be a funny scene. Attractive woman, he comes up, he thinks he's, whatever he thinks, and Impact comes through and just kind of like says, "Nah, get out of here, man." Gives him a wedgie and throws him in the pool. And then you get Cyblade there with just an awesome bikini shot. I think it's Cyblade. Just chilling. I like it. Good storytelling. Fun storytelling. Fun. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, Jasper.
We're not going to talk about X-Men anymore. I'm going to cry.
I was just going to say, I don't want to talk about it.
I am going to cry, okay? I'm a half a bottle in. I will cry.
I need to catch up. By the way, we got 49 people in the chat. We've crossed 50 a couple times. If you guys haven't yet, please hit the like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Become a member of the channel if you're not a member. Which, by the way, if you are a member of the channel, you get to see behind-the-scenes shots of me drawing Reaper Destroyer, page layouts, finished page, colors, everything that everybody else has not seen, you get to see as a member of the channel. And stick around at the end of the show. I'm going to show you an original Reaper Destroyer page inked by Joe Weems. It's going to be a little bit of a sneak preview for everybody. End of the show.
Now, this is where I wish they had a lay flat binding.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially now because we're really in the thick of the book, so it's kind of these gutters are really taking a lot of the art. Bub66 says, "Hail Joe, just grabbed a Kyo and wraparound cover. Looks great. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you so much." Past Master Dan says, "I want to create a Hulk-like character that once he gets whacked, he turns into a raging maniac until his nuts drop back down the sack." I love it. I'm gonna get Past Master Dan to write a book for me. That's it.
I love this whole page.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the detail of again, I'm trying to point, you guys are not going to be able to see this. Or actually, maybe, where's the original video on here? Nope, it's not up. Anyway, the panel on the left, you have just like all the little people here. Just good storytelling there, good perspective with all the action and everything going on. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun comics. That's why this channel exists. To look at fun comics, to look at the stuff that was, to talk about the stuff that will be from us, from Comicsgate, from independent creators. Like this is what we're trying to bring back, guys. Fun, energy, action books, good reads.
Escapism.
Great point. Drew G. Hale, he says, I'm late. Cyberforce was one comic I never read. I need to go back and read these. Art looks amazing. You should, dude.
Absolutely.
And go back and check. We're going to look at this entire omnibus. So go back to the beginning of the show once we're done. And you can see all of this, man. It's fantastic work. I love that shot of
him just walking. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, just out of his suit, he just kind of embraces his Indian heritage here. And it kind of reminds me when you would see Wolverine out of his costume with like a cowboy hat on, or like flannel or something, like very X-Men feel. But
I love the French.
Oh yeah, that's great. The design's great. Yeah. That was one of the things that just popped out to me on this page when I was looking at it earlier. The nut. I like that. Let's work on it. Do you or do you not? There is no try to bring back these type of dynamic storytellings. We will do it. There is no try. That's right.
It can be
another
done.
Awesome shot of.
You almost said Wolverine.
Actually, I almost said Warblade.
Oh, I was like
Ripclaw. Yeah, almost said Warblade there.
I thought you had almost said Wolverine. I'm like, it kind of does look like a Wolverine pose there. I'll give you that.
Well, I mean, it would make sense. Another awesome shot of Cyblade there. Nice boobies there. Just boom, like that. But it would make sense with Silvestri. I mean, he drew Wolverine for so long. I mean, this character, Ripclaw, is a derivative, not a ripoff, not a clone, just a derivative of a Wolverine character. So it makes sense to put him in a lot of Wolverine poses. Although this kind of reminds me more of like, kind of a Spider-Man Venom kind of pose with all crouched down like that. I don't know. But anyway, it's awesome though. I love it.
I love all the sound effects with the panels.
You know what I miss? And I'm bringing back sound effects in Reaper Destroyer. There's a lot of people that don't like sound effects, and maybe it's dated. I don't know.
It's not dated.
I like it.
Fun.
I think done right, you can definitely have sound effects in books. So I'm definitely bringing that back in Reaper Destroyer, hands down. Ripclaw and Die Hard are my two favorites. Die Hard was great. Extreme Studios, Youngblood. Yeah. Past Master Dan says, good night, Comics Gate. Good night, brother. Good to see you. Sleep well. Thank you for joining us, as always. Another awesome shot there of Killjoy.
Killjoy had such a great character design. Like
she did. She did. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of the villains in the series were super cool looking, to be honest.
100%. This double page spread here, I must have drawn 1,000 times as a teenager. Like this pose, this big man pose right here. I'm like, you want to talk about power pose? Just you got the tiny little pinhead, so the proportions are massive. The body's massive. Look at the muscles just exploding. Like that's power right there. Like that's a fun thing to draw as a kid. And I'm sure mine looked like shit when I was a teenager, but in my mind, it looked awesome. It looked like this. But yeah, I drew this like over and over again as a kid.
You should try to redo it now.
I should. I probably draw it pretty good now. Yeah, but I love this. I mean, I remember reading this comic just so many times. I'd always stop and just stare at this double pager right here. Jasper said sound effects aren't dated. Oh, good. I appreciate that. I've heard other people say otherwise, and I've always been like, nah, man. Like it's just comic books. Drew G said, by the way, if you ever do action figures for Reaper Destroyer, you should look into the Valaverse. Bobby's making some of the best figures today, in my opinion. I'll have to check that out. If you got any kind of links, DM me. I'll check that work out for sure. I would love to have an action figure at some point. Not on this campaign, but at some point in the future. The best sound effect is Chud. One of Malin's Marvel books. Yeah, we saw that last night, right? The Chud. It was just such an out of place sound effect for what was going on in that scene. Hale Lore says, where's Pitt when you need him? I know, right? Chauncey Hale. This is probably my favorite Marc Silvestri Cyberforce issue. Yeah, mine too. I agree. This is one of my favorites. Sibling Vaughn says, study John Workman's work on sound effects. In fact, Walter Simonson still has John letter and do the same, or the sound effects prior to starting to draw. I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've heard of him. All right, let's keep on rolling. I'll try not to pause it so much. We'll keep on rolling. We've got a little ways to go with this still. Like I said, we're looking at this entire omnibus. the show usually goes 2 to 4 hours, so try to make it worthwhile for you guys tuning in and rewatching. Great pose there, a
Yes.
side blade. Just again,
Absolutely.
sexy females. It's great pose
Love
there in
it.
Killjoy. I mean, it's
That
just
is awesome fucking pose. Just an
great character
awesome
design.
design in general.
Yep. I like that you get to see Stryker can shoot his finger out now.
Yeah.
I guess it's
It's
just
hilarious.
yeah, all the different things you can do with that character. I'm gonna take another shot for the chat just because I can. And Kayla's like so far ahead of me.
I'm gonna take another shot too, so you're gonna have to take 2 to keep up.
Continue to stay ahead of me.
Take
Let's
2.
see. Yeah, this was probably my again, it peaked. Cyberforce peaked to me in the Killer Instinct series. Story wise, I wasn't as big as a story fan in here, but I did like the art. We're getting into the now with Bat is starting to ink Silvestri. And I think
Well, you
Bat
can
was
you
able
can
to
see it. You can tell now.
yeah, Bat was able to bring out Silvestri's pencils in a different like Scott Williams was great when he inked Silvestri, but Bat added something to Silvestri's lines that were just different, and you could see like a style change or just a different feel when Bat took over doing inks. And this was right around that time when that happened. Oh, here's the Mcfarlane issue, Cyberforce number 8. You get to see some Todd McFarlane art here, everybody. Stryker blasting his middle finger. Yeah. So, take your time if you need it. I wouldn't get bored at looking at amazing art. Well, I appreciate it. Kayla is drinking tequila.
Yes, it's Tequila Tuesday. I will be right back.
Okay.
Someone locked themselves in the basement at my
Oh,
house.
jeez.
Yeah, because we're in an apartment. So if you put the keys on the outside, they just left the basement keys on the outside door when they went to go get their laundry. So I will be right back. I just got a text about it. Hold on.
Nice. Yeah, so this is the Image X month that they did where all of the Image founders crossed over with each other's characters. I think Jim Lee did Savage Dragon, Eric Larson did Wildcats, Jim Valentino did Youngblood, Rob Liefeld did Shadowhawk, and Mcfarlane and Silvestri swapped. Silvestri did the legendary Spawn 25, which I think really single-handedly pushed him into doing more of the supernatural characters, and out of that you got the darkness, and that was one of the legendary runs that Silvestri did early on, or at least in the mid-90s. But this, this is actually very good by Mcfarlane. I remember when I first read it, I didn't like it because I like Mcfarlane. I like Mcfarlane on Spawn and Spider-Man. He does very good with monsters and masked characters and stuff like that. When you put Mcfarlane on characters like, like a team like this where he's got to do a lot of face work and sometimes they look a little cartoonish, but I actually thought he did pretty good with this. If you look at the art, it's a different feel for Cyberforce, a little bit more violent. It's got that Mcfarlane kind of feel. It's got some cool monsters there. You see on the bottom right corner there. So this was good. It's good to have in your collection. I definitely think if you want to see who did better on the other person's book, Silvestri just killed it on Spawn. Killed it on Spawn. We got Rob the Replicator in the house. He says, "Woman on the panel. What is this? Diversity. Welcome." Yes. Yeah, we've had Kayla on now for a couple months now. A regular to the show when Sean was on here. By the way, shout out to Sean. Shout out to his mother. She's still making progress, so prayers go out to her and out to him. Hopefully he'll be back at sometime soon because we definitely miss him on this show. I really love the pose that Mcfarlane put Heatwave in there. That's kind of a very Jim Lee kind of hand coming at you, coming at the camera. Foreshortening there is just crazy, but just very well done. I really dig that. Ripclaw versus Darkness. Sorry, I can't help myself. Yeah, badass. Forgot Todd Fighter did an issue. Yeah, that Image crossover was pretty cool. It was a cool idea. Not all the books were winners, but definitely Silvestri's Spawn was awesome. Jim Lee's Savage Dragon was pretty cool too. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you're opening yours so I don't have to. That's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. I'm never selling any of my stuff. My collection is for me. It will go to my kids when I die, and they can do whatever they want with it. But I never plan on selling any of my stuff. So I'm gonna pause this because I know Kayla really enjoys this storyline here. This is a Chris Claremont created character. Is it the Huntsman? I can't remember, but he crossed over with Wildcats and then he crossed over with Cyberforce. It was kind of cool to see Chris Claremont come and work with these guys, that he had worked with before on X-Men, Uncanny X-Men back in the day at Marvel, and just kind of do a storyline. This character was cool because you saw him bounce from book to book. So I'll wait till she gets back to dive into that. Marty said, I'm glad you're. Oh, I said Ja Rose said Wildcats got the short end of that one. What are we talking about, Jay Lee? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that wasn't the best Wildcats issue. Larson. Yeah, it wasn't the best. I'll say that it wasn't the best. Same here. Don't plan on it either. Yeah, it's my collection is for my collection. Welcome. Not much. We were just kind of. I paused here because I know this is going into the Claremont storyline character that we had in the Wildcats, and I knew you dug this character. You dug Claremont, so I'm pausing.
Jasper, I just ran up fucking 4 flights of stairs, up and down.
Oh, there you go. That was fast too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit, I'm out of breath right now.
I thought I was gonna have to stall more. Oh, that's a cool perspective. Look at that.
Well, what would you expect?
Yeah, I mean, would expect nothing less. Yes, we got Bordeaux in the house. Hail to you. Yeah, just great perspective there. Again, the tech here is again
amazing.
It's amazing, but very animated, or anime, very manga feel. I mean, but really without that kind of feel, what would we have had in the early 90s, mid 90s comics? Like them borrowing that feel and bringing it into modern comics at the time just gave us some awesome visuals.
I love this perspective over here on the left side too. Great face shot. That's a great profile there. Great front face.
Yeah. And I think you're actually going to see there's some stuff within these Cyberforce issues where I do believe you had some of his younger artists coming in and helping out on either doing finishing over his layouts or just doing a page here or there, getting them some work. Because I do think some of the stuff you can tell is Benitez as we go forward.
You'll too.
Oh,
holy
man, that's
shit.
Great. Again, gutter loss because of the omnibus, but like that's just a great perspective of the down shot or the upshot there of Stryker coming through. Got some tread on the foot there. Yeah,
good boot tread.
Yeah, I agree. Sweet the tequila out running up the stairs. Sweet or sweat the tequila out running up the stairs.
Sweaty.
Yeah, I'd open up my vent. It was actually getting kind of hot down here.
I feel like I got
to actually been cold in
on now.
Master of Books Boob said just took a massive fucking shit. I like that.
Kudos. I mean, I guess
hope you're a little bit lighter.
Do you feel lighter? Did you weigh yourself before and after?
That's what you have to do. Great buildings there. Silvestri was always really good at buildings, unless he had perhaps Michael Turner at this time drawing some buildings. I know Turner did a lot of background work before he really got into drawing, so you could see some maybe early Turner work here in the background. I'd say this is the era where Silvestri was. Yeah, let me pause that. I think this is the era where Silvestri was starting to get a lot more assistance on his books, which is not a bad thing. But Top Cow really started to dive into a lot of the younger artists doing a lot of background work, getting these books out probably faster. But yeah, this is just, that Cyblade shot right there is just
gorgeous,
sexy as fuck, beautiful looking.
You definitely see like the Psylocke kind of vibes in her character for sure, 100%. Like,
and again, Cyberforce being a derivative of the X-Men, I think more than any of the other Image team books works for me. I didn't mind derivative characters. I liked seeing the shadows of Psylocke or Wolverine or Gambit with Grifter and like all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed that stuff.
Inspired by, that's where inspiration, they were inspired by something and then they made it their own thing. That's what we need more of. If you're inspired by something, make it your own thing. Don't try to do the same exact thing. Use your inspiration to an advantage to create something new.
100%. Drew G says, try saying that 10 times fast. So I missed this kind of comic. 80s brought some great stories, but the 90s brought the best art, hands down. Hands down. True story. I actually did that once and I lost 2 pounds. I've done that before and lost 5 pounds. Beat that. Beat that. Great pose. Yeah. Another just really cool dynamic pose that Rip Claw's in.
And I love the silhouette over here at the top.
Yes. I'm a lover.
Oh, crap,
I missed it.
Yes.
I was just going to say, you and I are on the same page. I'm a lover of silhouettes. I think they're definitely used right in comics. They look great. Yes. Chauncey said, yep, Turner did do backgrounds in this issue. Yeah. There you go. Speaking of silhouettes.
Look at that. That's awesome. That is so fucking kick-ass.
Beautifully done.
And I love how the silhouette goes right into just oh God, I love the use of everything in the page, like the silhouette and then her profile there in the forefront. I like even the silhouetting of the body here with the splash of color on it. And
I was just going to say that really on the right-hand page at the bottom really just pops out. That was something on Malin's show last night when we were looking at his cable run. He did a lot of this kind of Silvestri kind of silhouettes in the foreground here. Really makes the background pop out, shows depth. It feels like you're immersed in the scene. When you do it well, it looks beautiful. And this is definitely Silvestri is a master at doing it.
I just had
damn, look at that.
I just had like a dirty thought seeing that. So,
go ahead, tell us. The chat will love it.
It's like that looks like something that happened in like blacklight sex.
Yeah. Nice. Frank Miller, King of Silhouettes. Yeah, he does good silhouettes too. I'd say they probably were all influenced by him. Yeah, I wanted to pause it here because the design here, the tech design here is just
fucking crazy.
Whew, amazing. He also had a lot of junk worship, really awesome. He also had a lot of junk worship, really awesome. What kind of junk? Like I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Like junk? Like a man's
like junk or like like just like a bunch of trash junk.
Hail Lord said, "Oh God, Kayla, laugh my ass off." That's right. That's what you guys came here for. Dirty-minded.
And that's
but yeah, that's just a beautiful double.
Look at the good cape there too. See, I love this side.
Okay, so here is, I believe this is, I can't see because I paused it. Let me find it. I believe this is Benitez. I will tell you in a second.
I've actually never have seen this Origins book. If this isn't like what it says here, Cyberforce, this I'm not familiar with at all.
I hadn't either. So I had to look it up because they don't. In the back, they tell you who the artist is. All right, so artist is Joe Benitez, inked by Matt Bat Banning and Billy Tan. Yeah. So this is early Benitez work.
Why do I like this stuff?
Covered by Silvestri, obviously.
Like, I don't know. I kind of like his older style more than just off of the first page. Yeah, I kind of like this more than some of the stuff I've seen from him recent times.
Oh, he was talking about Malin's.
Oh,
I got you. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense now. I got you.
Wow, this is.
Yeah, this is early Benitez. You can see it in his face. I mean, so here's the thing with the early Top Cow guys, like, and we're going to see a Finch issue here coming up as well.
Yep.
I love seeing the early work of these guys because you can kind of see certain stuff that they kept going forward. Like Benitez's faces are very unique.
I actually like this more than some of his current stuff.
Oh, like current stuff?
Yes, some of it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like if I could,
it's a little bit more raw. I'd say like a little bit more energetic. When you learn to really draw a lot better in your career as you're going forward, sometimes you lose.
You get too clean with it. And...
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree, Gyro. The Magdalena Benitez run, that was probably some of my favorite stuff he did. Was that the what was that Wrathborn? I think he did through Top Cow, or maybe that was just his own image project, but that was pretty good.
I mean, the Lady Mechanica stuff is awesome that I've seen him do the things for. So
Only 64 says oi 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 ahoy
ahoy.
ahoy.
I feel like I need a sailor's hat, like a captain.
I know there's a lot of ahoy. Yeah,
I know ahoy.
Ahoy.
Like I feel like I need a captain's hat, you know?
Malin's crotch game is on point. I agree. He can draw the crotches. He knows what's up.
Mm.
I'm picking up
think
some
I
J.
can see
Scott
that
Campbell
too.
influence here.
I
Yeah,
think I can see that too.
So in Benitez's work, I can see some Campbell. I can see some Mcfarlane. I can see some. I mean, obviously, you're going to see a little bit of Silvestri being at Top Cow. All right, so this is Randy Queen, I believe.
I haven't seen this one either.
Let me find out. I'll tell you exactly who this is. So Striker number 2 they have in here. Okay, so this is going to have Randy Queen and Michael Turner. Inked by D-Tron and Aaron Soward. So the first part of this is going to be Randy Queen, and you're going to see a very early Michael Turner as we go forward. But it's really good. Everything about this book is very good. Wraithborn, yes. Oh, it's through Wildstorm.
Was it?
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Thank you.
This is good. I love
Randy
this.
Queen was awesome. I thought he had a lot of potential. I thought he would have been bigger than he ended up being. I'm not quite sure why his career didn't take off because he was very talented. Style-wise, you can see some Silvestri, some Lee, a little bit of Mcfarlane in his stuff. His women were sexy.
Really? When did you get in here?
Another cat in the house.
The fat one, the one that doesn't be quiet.
The Magdalena was stolen from Warrior Nun Ariella.
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 Warrior Nun Ariella that Joe
Dunn
Dunn created
created.
by Antarctic Press.
Huh. I did not know that. Was it stolen or was it just inspired? That's what I'd say. Omni 64 said, I remember coming across these comics at the train track. There was a trail of comics on the floor leading to the container. This was back in the late 95. Oh, geez. So I still think we're Queen here. You're going to see a stylistic change, and that's when you're going to see Michael Turner come through.
Sorry, my back
Personality
is
issues. Okay. It's all right.
I usually have a cushion on the seat because I don't have a computer chair or anything. I'm just sitting on a freaking metal chair, and I don't know where I have like a gel pad I usually sit on, and this shit is hurting my back tonight. I can't get comfortable.
I'm gonna say that the right page is definitely Turner.
It looks like Turner to me.
It looks like very early Turner.
Look at
I
the
don't know
body.
because it doesn't. Yeah, I was just that's why I want to say specifically because the body looks like the female.
I would need to see the face a little closer because I feel that he has a distinct way that he does women's faces.
Yeah.
Although they all look different, it's not like where I feel like J. Scott Campbell is very repetitive. Like they all look the same, just with different hair colors and everything. He changes certain things about the face visually. Turner.
Yeah, I think we're getting more into Turner here. Like even early on, because this is before before he did the Ballistic run, and obviously way before he did Witchblade. So, I mean, he was already really talented, but he hadn't quite got the Michael Turner that everybody knew and loved style just yet. I do believe this is the early Turner stuff. Sean would know. If he was here, Sean would point it out right off the bat because he knows this issue pretty well.
I mean, I don't know this issue, so I don't have an answer. So that's why I'm not speaking on it. I'm just looking at it and enjoying it because it's gorgeous.
And who knows? They might have gone back and forth. It might have just been like, a combination of the two. I feel like that's definitely a Turner face.
I mean, that looks like Turner to me on the left-hand side there. Is it possibly Turner did more of the women within this, you think?
That could have been. Maybe Benitez did a little bit more of like, or not Benitez. Queen did more of the men and stuff. That could have been. They definitely could have shared off some different pages and stuff.
Now I need to look
Turner's
it up. Like,
Turner's
look,
ballistic art was the shit. Yeah, ballistic was great, guys. If you haven't read the ballistic miniseries by Michael Turner, go do it. Go do it. Go do it after this stream is over. Actually, go into my archives on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live and go back as far as you can find it. We did a Michael Turner ballistic series with Dan Fraga was on, and we looked at the entire ballistic series. That was a great show, and we looked at some awesome art. So go check it out because it is definitely worth your while. Yeah, Luke in the house. Holler if you hear me. Holler. They look fierce and sharp. I like it.
fierce and
The bottom
sharp.
left panel equals total Psylocke / Zealot ripoff pose. Must have been a different page. But I don't know if you would say ripoff. It's just inspired. I mean, there's certain fun poses to put females in, right? You know, if you want an ass shot, if you want a good tit shot, if you want a good, body bend twist shot. I mean, there's certain stuff you just, I don't necessarily
That
say you would rip
works.
off, but yeah, it just works. We got all of them signed. Man, Jay Lee's got everything, man.
I still
I'll tell
think
you.
like the best Turner stuff was in Fathom. Like that's just my personal favorite Turner stuff.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I loved the ballistic stuff because it was just young, raw Michael Turner figuring it out, and he worked with a fantastic inker and Detron. And then obviously his Witchblade was great, Fathom was great.
Oh, Witchblade was great. Yes, absolutely. I gotta record that art book.
Yes, we're gonna do a show on a Witchblade art book coming up here soon. That
Oh,
Kayla
and it
got.
is
I'm looking forward to one.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah, Jay Lee got original art from Michael Turner. So jealous.
Jay Lee, you have everything.
He does. It's like
Literally, I'm so jealous.
like Rick Saylor's got an amazing collection of comic books. Jay Lee's got an amazing collection of like original. I mean, Rick's got a lot of original art too, but Jay Lee's got like a lot of the Image guys' original art and stuff like that.
Jay Lee, though, his art style, I know he said like he learned a lot from Jim Lee, but I see
the real Jay Lee.
Yes, so like because I have
not this Jay Lee.
This Jay Lee here. Yes, he said he learned a lot from Jim Lee, but I see some Michael Turner stuff in some of the women that he does. Like because I have a couple pieces that he did.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like our I'm gonna call him our Jay Lee's. I like his art style. Every time he shares stuff with me, I really dig it. I am at some point. Yep. Definitely gonna, and I only collect that for Brett's stories. Yeah, there are a lot of collectors in CG. That's for sure.
I can't wait to get mine fully organized so I can show it off and blow everyone's minds. Not to brag. Not to brag.
This is a badass shot. I love it.
That is. I love the colors that are used.
Yeah, I believe we're into, I think this is Brian Hamberlin now doing the majority of the colors and Cyberforce. But just kind of keeping that Chiodo feel, but also just he was one of the more revolutionary guys when it came to the digital colors back in the day.
Are we taking a shot? I swear I heard shot glass.
I am. Yes.
I'm just looking for a reason to drink tonight.
We're 2 hours into the show. We're still going. Thank you to everybody who's still here. We've held almost 40 people strong almost the entire time. Keeps bouncing back and forth. So hail to you guys. Appreciate y'all.
And if you have alcohol, take a shot along.
Yes. We are getting close to the end of this omnibus. If you notice in some of this stuff, Kayla, you can see where I think Silvestri is either just doing layouts in certain pages, and he's probably having guys like Benitez finish him. Because some of the faces don't look quite Silvestri anymore, even though he gets the credit for the art. You can definitely tell where he's got guys kind of going over his stuff. Probably his layout still.
Definitely tell.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's
because
very
he
noticeable.
a particular way. that he does his faces, especially on his women, especially on the women. When the woman's face looks
Like-
kind of not off because it's good artwork, but it doesn't look like what you expect from Silvestri. I do not believe that he was the one that did that face. Like
right. Well, if you look at this 2-page spread here, it looks like his layouts, but that definitely looks like Benitez art.
It's Hornitos.
Oh, there you
Tuesdays
go.
for tequila.
Henry Bemis says he'll drink. Yeah.
Yes.
If you insist, yeah, everybody drink. Shots on everybody. Let's do this.
There's no peer
Shots.
pressure,
We
but
like
if you
killing.
want to, have a shot.
Shots.
Are we having another one? Wait, what?
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. This is early David Finch.
So I remember this.
Yes.
This annual.
So this is David Finch, everybody.
Yes.
This is before Ascension David Finch. So you really get to see quite a bit different, honestly.
Cool.
Like he stylistically changed quite a bit from this to Ascension. Just want to double check, but I'm pretty sure this. Yeah, this is Finch.
I think it is.
Yes. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I see
knew
a
it was.
little
I
like
just want to double check, make sure I have my
I see
information
a
right.
little like Todd McFarlane in this
Yeah.
younger, right? Is it me or
No,
am I just buzzing had like
No, you're correct. And
am
I was actually going to say
buzzing
this.
had? Like
A lot of the young artists during this time, whether it was Campbell and Wildstorm and a lot of the young guys in Top Cow, you could see they were influenced at some point or another with Mcfarlane and certain stuff that they do. Like everybody was, amongst the rest of the guys that they were influenced as well. But Todd McFarlane was a very influential artist for his day. Even though you didn't ever really see a clone of McFarlane come through. Maybe early Stephen Platt was the closest you got to a clone of McFarlane when he was doing the Moon Knight run.
I agree with that.
Todd face, yeah.
It is a Todd face, exactly. There's a certain stylistic, but now it's Finch definitely. I see, like he's definitely developed his own way of doing things like that. The Finch faces are not drawn. Finch faces, wow. The faces, the faces don't look like that anymore. To me, at least.
Yeah, no, he's stylistically
Finch is
changed
incredible.
quite a bit.
He's an incredible artist.
It's
just such a cool design for a freaking.
Yeah, it's still one of the better designs out there. Sarcodic. Anthony Wynn did most of the finished pencils from 10 to 14, and David Finch took over around 15, 16, question mark. He might have. I'm not sure for sure, but I mean, you can definitely see a lot of the underlings at the time coming in and doing some work.
Jay Lee, I'm coming to find you. That's it.
Yeah. Just hit the whiskey weight. Is Velocity inspired by Ziggy Stardust? Oh, with the Starbolt on her face.
Interesting. Maybe, possibly.
Maybe. Never thought about that before.
He was a Bowie fan. And the red hair, too. Actually, no, that actually makes sense. Bordeaux, you gave me something to think about.
Yeah.
Now I got to look into things.
Yeah, Bordeaux said Todd's cartoony skills are front and center in his faces. Yeah, that's the biggest thing you can see with Todd. This cover is my absolute favorite cover of all time.
That is fucking amazing.
When I met Silvestri, I had to get the. It's gonna glare.
It's glaring.
I had to get the print. I had to get the 11x17 print of this because I saw it at his table and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I gotta get this and have him sign it," because this was one of my absolute favorite covers. Cyberblade looks absolutely gorgeous, sexy, powerful on top of that dragon in this pose.
I was gonna say, plus dragon.
Yeah, it's like a very fantasy, like a heavy metal kind of feel,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also love too that. I just also love too the colors that were used here and just like the darkening on the dragon's wings and tail area. I love that.
Hail.
Dragon
coaches in the house is a dragon simps. That's true.
I am a dragon simp. I will not deny that.
Absolutely. Everyone's saying hi to Malin. Nerd alert. But yeah, this was one of my favorite issues, even though you can tell that Silvestri didn't do everything. Yeah, he didn't do everything in this issue, but it was still like the cover was badass. The dragon looked fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely.
I love a
just-
good dragon design.
Yeah. You can tell this isn't Silvestri by the face of Impact. You know, like that is not a Silvestri face.
No, not at all.
We are dragons. There you go. I love dragons ever since I saw Dragon Slayer when I was a little kid. Oh yeah, good movie.
No,
Good
I love
movie.
this.
Nice pose. I dig that.
Yes.
The throwing of the hand. I couldn't tell who the artist was. D-Tron did the inks, so I mean the inks are going to be good. Top Cow had some great inkers, just like Extreme Studio. I mean, Image had good inkers. They had good talent all over the place. I mean, it's disgusting how much talent they had, how much talent they brought up that the rest of the industry like turned their eye to.
The one thing I don't like is that nose panel, though.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
very
that definitely wasn't
particular about
Silvestri.
the upshot. Like, do you know, like the perspective of looking up at the nose?
Thank you, Jaylee.
One thing I did not
Thank you,
like on
guys.
that page, though, to be honest.
It was Anthony Wynn. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I knew it. I was just testing you all. Did you get any of the 30th anniversary one variants? I didn't. Well, besides, I got this was the only one I got. The only variant I got was Silvestri's. But again, I spent $100 on this campaign. I thought that was pretty good. You know, I thought that was pretty good. More, I couldn't really justify spending more at the time on this. Halor. Nice. Okay, I wanted to
how
pause
the
this
art
here.
changes over time, but I actually really like this 2 pages here
Jacob,
because it gives you a very cosmic feel. Like, I don't know if that's what you see here, but just that background there, it's very like cosmic looking.
oh yeah,
But it is kind of this page, it's just kind of odd in a way, but I enjoy it. You know, just the 2 panels that are kind of offset a little bit.
this
And
was
then the silhouetting. I love silhouetting. You know how I feel about the silhouetting.
yeah, well, absolutely. That's why we get along so well. But this was something we were talking about on Mail-In Show last night. We were looking at his cable run, as I was saying earlier in the show. But we were talking about we brought up Silvestri a couple of times because some of the stuff he did in that run was very Silvestri-esque. And we brought up negative space, and I brought up the fact that Silvestri, in a lot of his books, whether it's Darkness or Cyberforce, liked to use negative space. And this is the perfect example of negative space. And this is a 2-page spread. All right. This is a 2-page spread. This probably took him all of maybe 20 minutes to draw, you know, and then the colors comes through and does what he does. But, you know, within the story, it works. It looks fun. You know, it's a fun visual to look at, but it's just so simple, so well done. And the negative space is just all over the place. I love it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, folks, right there. Super Jerry's 27 Nerd Cave of Comic Book Goodness says, I spent a grip too. Comic Book Bob in the house. I almost squalade.
When you were
Squeal.
looking at Malin's cable
Like a
run,
schoolgirl when
you looked at the cable,
Copy
like from Cable Volume 2, or did you look at like the Cable and Deadpool stuff? What were you guys looking at? I mean, his cable run was really good because
I think we just looked at the cable run. I think it was Yaki was bringing it up, if I remember. I can't remember, but we just went over some of his Thunderbolt stuff, but then we got into the cable stuff, and it was the cable stuff was great. The Thunderbolt stuff was good too, but I brought it up to Malin in the stream that I asked him, and I thought that the cable seemed more inspired, like, you know, his art seemed more inspired.
He did Liefeld.
Well, not just inspired by art,
like,
by Liefeld. I'm just talking about just inspired in general. Like he seemed like he was having more fun on cable doing that book than he did on Thunderbolts. You can always tell when an artist is having more fun because their art looks inspired. It's inspiring, you know.
I like the Captain America, the Steve Rogers 16 he did for the Secret Empire as well too.
And Malin said the Cable
Deadpool was years earlier. Yeah, I was wondering which like cable that you guys were looking at. So
it was actually nice to see because when he was doing the majority of his work was when I was not really collecting comic books. So there's a lot of stuff that I missed during that era. So that was the first time I had seen that in depth of his work. So that was real fun for me last night. This is great. Love this. Great
I love that
combination.
too. That is amazing.
Bat inked the hell out of this page. Just beautiful. I love everything about this. All the hidden phallic imagery in Malin's work. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thunderbolts seemed like the writer gave John nothing to work with. Yeah, it was the Cable stuff was a lot better.
But now he has his
first
own
time I
books
saw it too,
that
it was
are
dope.
that are
Dope
out,
as
and I
hell.
know everyone's looking forward to Godlike and his
Godlike.
coming out.
Yeah.
Godlike is going to be crazy.
That's going
I
to kick
back
so much
that.
ass. I can't wait. Yeah, I was so glad. I was so excited to back that when it came out. I can't wait to read it. Like, I think that's going to be what I like about that. I know we're talking about Cyberforce real quick, but aside, because John just jumps in and he takes over everything when he shows up.
I felt it was like very Norse mythology inspired and stuff.
Well,
like
it's got a lot of cool
I see in it.
Kirby-esque designs, a lot of kind of Liefeld feel to it as well. You know, talking to him early on last year, maybe it was early this year before it actually launched, and he was just talking about the stylistically how he was kind of going back to the bigger proportions, broader shoulders, things of that nature that really inspired him early on, like the 90s stuff that like Liefeld and all those guys would do. That got me excited. The little bit of stuff that he's shown on live streams here or there of Godlike has just been sick. Absolutely sick. I know a lot of people miss him on Graveyard Shift, and I do too. I miss him on that book, but Godlike is going to be one of those books. I think when that drops, we're just going to want to see him do Godlike. That's what I think.
I just think the design is fucking awesome and just everything about it. I think it will have a good mythos and be a great story.
Yeah, the story too. Yeah.
It's something that definitely I'm captivated by. So, and I just like a real masculine like character, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know, I like that, how I looked at it. I see like a Conan mixed with Norse mythology kind of thing going, and that's up my alley. So like
that's what he kept saying was like the
manly
Project
men
Undar for so long.
Yes.
You know, like
some of the 80s cartoons and stuff. Yeah,
he took a lot of cool concepts and put them together, which is a winning formula. That's what I try to do with Reaper Destroyer, and I think you give the audience something that is familiar but brand new, you're going to suck a lot of people in. Especially with really good art. John said probably more editorial control. That writer probably talking about the difference between Thunderbolts and Cable. I love this double page spread here. I love how the panels, like perspective is really cool. The panels are just so chaotically thrown together. Like everything's moving so fast, just bleeding into each other. You got panels being broken here.
Well, this is good storytelling.
Yeah, I love it. I
mean, the pacing of this is great. This page.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Anytime I will let you talk for sure. You got some great insight.
I also love the eye shot. You know how I feel about like an eye shot on a page. I love that.
So inspiring storytelling, like the reason why I have this channel, the reason why we look at this kind of art, as an artist wise, storytelling is so damn important. I love studying guys like Silvestri and the rest of the guys we look at in this channel, and taking the aspect of storytelling and putting it into my own work. Sometimes just a really close up shot of the eyeball, of the expression with the eyebrow and everything as we're leading into the next page. Storytelling wise, it's fantastic. I mean, the scene here with this person just the shot deflects off impact and hits this bystander. This obviously means something to this chick. I haven't read this story in a while, so I don't know. But you know what's going on. Exactly.
It's an action, a reaction, and a different point of view here. And I like how the point of view is switching. It's also too like it makes you wonder: is this what she is seeing here from this perspective? How they're going back and forth. I also like this panel layout, how it's like I love non-traditional panel layouts.
Exactly.
That's just me personally. Favorite. So
the entire page is artistic, and like that's what I love about it. Like it's bold, you definitely put some thought into how you wanted to take the reader throughout the entire layout. It's just it's non-traditional, and I love that. Henry Bemis says the panels are so inventive. And that's what I loved about the 90s styles of art. And that's why anybody that does certain stuff like this, I really dig it, because it's so easy to fall into the more kind of boring storytelling of just grids and panels and stuff like that. You know, you can still have good storytelling with that, but break it up a little bit, add some of these, you know,
Make
in
it
these,
fun.
yeah, you just got these odd shaped panels, the jagged edges here, like these brushed edges
love
and
it.
stuff that was so, you know, popular in the 90s. That shit's fun. It's just fun to look at.
For Le Rad Mule, if anyone can someone drop the link to Andy Smith's new book? Because if you want to see something that's more like Conan the Barbarian type of characters, that book is out right now. You can look into
That's
John
true.
Malin's book, Godlike. But Cordrath is, you probably want to look into that if you're specifically Conan the Barbarian type of character. He
Yeah,
has
if
an
we have any
artist edition
mods,
book out too. So
yeah, if we have any mods in the chat still, Jasper, anybody, if you could do that for us, I'd appreciate
you
it.
know what? I'll do it. Hold on.
Okay, Comic Book
I'm
Bob
just
said,
buzzing. Give me a minute, guys.
what's cool is how it looks chaotic, but you never get lost. Yes, like there's so much thought and in my mind, intelligence and that goes into a panel layout or a page layout like that. You know, like you really got to think about it to make it chaotic like that, to pull you into the scene, but not to lose the reader of not knowing where to go. You know, word balloons help that as well. But you know, a master artist or a good storyteller can still pull you through a chaotic page layout like that, and you still are entertained. You still know exactly where you're going,
I love
and he absolutely did that. Same thing with this. I really like the use of negative space. I've said this before. I like the use of white backgrounds. I think that white backgrounds are lost in comics today's, where the colors will kind of go in and just take that up. But sometimes the nice white background just makes everything pop. You know, a double page spread here, you only have 3 panels. The white border it makes it really look.
I
Makes
feel
the
like
colors
this about
pop out.
them. I feel like this about them because
Really?
I've seen them done really bad, but then I've seen them done well. So it depends on who's doing it.
That's a good point. If you do again, if anything, just like the silhouettes.
Yes,
Silhouettes can be
it's either
done very
good or bad.
poorly.
But
Yeah,
I
very well. If
enjoy
you know what
most.
you're doing,
I
you can make it
enjoy
look
most
awesome.
silhouettes, to be honest. But the white just like a pure white background, a pure white background like this, it either works or it doesn't work. It ultimately depends on the story itself that the artist is trying to tell through the panels. This works in this aspect.
Thank you,
Here.
Jasper. Yeah,
Thank you, Jasper,
exactly.
because
Yep.
I'm buzzed. So
Bordeaux
me
says
forever to
layout
find
seems
it.
more intuitive than anything else. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just instinctually comes to an artist as they're putting it together. Some artists have a good mind of just being able to see it in their head as they're forming it, you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't like to brag, but I feel like I have the ability to do that somewhat with my panel layouts as well. You just kind of see it in a different way, you know? Ooh, this is badass.
I love that. I love
Heavy
the use
blacks,
of
the fire
yellow.
pops. Yeah.
The use of yellow really
Can
makes
pause
a
here.
difference within all of the Cyberforce stuff.
Especially with all the heavy blacks. You know, you got
Yes.
the oranges and the yellows really make everything pop out. A little bit of the green there with the characters and the silver with the armor and everything. But
Look at these lines here too. Just the line work is great on this too. It's very raw looking, but it's very clean at the same time, if that makes any sense.
oh no, yeah, absolutely, dude. I was looking at the cross hatching on the
Yes, that's
the
exactly.
androids.
I'm pointing with my
You're like,
pointer, like
right
you
here,
can
right
see.
here.
I'm circling it on screen, and I'm like,
That is some vintage bat cross hatching right there. I know because I've seen it on the stuff he's done on my work as well. But I mean, that's what I love about that is, man, that's very bat. And I'm sure Silvestri drew that kind of stuff in, but Bat went through and just really kind of brought that out. And that's what working with a good inker, a talented inker that knows what the hell they're doing can do for your artwork. It just enhances it. It takes what's already there that's badass and enhances it. Hail Lord said the white background makes the double page artwork better to look at. I agree. It pops, you know. It pops.
in this story, yes,
Same
absolutely.
thing with this though. The black background in this
And this
as well
pops
just
too.
frames everything and makes everything pop too, especially with the scene that's going on.
very nicely because it looks like it's coming outward at you. It
Heavy
changes
blacks, you
the
mean like
perspective.
Mississippi, Alabama.
Oh my god.
Yes, exactly. Exactly like that.
You guys are. This even works
Mm.
too. Here, actually, I really love
Let me
this.
pause. Okay.
I actually really love that
Go
because
ahead,
you
explain it.
have well, explain it while I'm drunk
As
here.
best you can. Yeah.
No, I just love that you have the heavy blacks on this side and then you have the more lighter whites on this side. It sounds so
You
bad.
got a cool
No
scene
matter how
change
I
here.
no matter how
Yeah.
I say it, it's just a really cool scene change and how it translates into each other. You know, there are things that work together and this works. So
What I love about
you don't have the page flat, but you can see like
yeah,
there's also too
I don't
like
want to go
how
back too far. I'll probably lose the spot, but
but there's also too like how they ended each page here, like when they put this together here. So this
yeah,
eye here on the left hand panel,
good emotion.
good emotion, and then it leads into the last panel here on this the lighter
Yep.
side there. If that
What
makes
I
sense.
like about the left, no,
You
it
can
did.
word it better than me tonight.
No. I think everybody got what you were saying with that. What I liked about the left panel though is this is a good example of the anchor panel and then the floating panel technique. I'm pretty sure Will Protasio made this kind of popular amongst his peers, and they all kind of adopted this. But this is what I love about page layouts. Like I'll do this quite a bit. Like I love the anchor panel, which is the impact there in the mess of the aftermath of him destroying all these androids or whatever. And then you have these floating panels that just kind of float around this anchor panel. It's to me, it adds energy. It's stylistic. It's fun to look at than just a normal kind of page. But this is if you ever hear me talk about anchor panel and floating panels, that's a good example of what I'm
That's
talking
exactly
about.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. I love this.
No, that's good too.
I just wish it was a lay flat page.
Yeah.
Lay
That's the
flat
only thing
binding.
losing the art. But
You're
again,
losing the center of it a little
tech
bit.
design is awesome.
Yes.
Just brilliant in that aspect.
The tech design is unreal.
Yeah, it's the Top Cow's tech design. Even Wildstorm was good too, but Top Cow's tech design was next level. I mean, if you look at a lot of the artists that came out of Top Cow, even including guys like Roquefort, who does some fantastic
Oh,
tech.
Roquefort is amazing.
Yeah,
In general.
yeah. They had a knack for drawing tech at Top Cow, and this is just, it's all over the place. But this page is badass. Henry Beeman says, every time I see art like this, I wonder how much the originals cost, and then I cry. Yeah, true. Some of it is a pretty penny, I guarantee you. Have you ever heard Shane's story of one of his editors who didn't know what an inset panel was? It says everything about the modern industry. I haven't heard that story, but I'm not surprised.
I haven't heard that, but it really does not surprise me either because they're hiring people just based on
they're
not
hiring
what they
editors
can do, but they're hiring people that don't know how to edit because if people knew how to edit, then the books that are coming out wouldn't be coming out. It's plain and simple because they suck.
Here's some Randy Queen. I feel like this is like a Dark Child kind of thing. This was just kind of.
I like.
That's what. Oh yeah, Randy Queen was great. Like I said before, like I'm surprised his career didn't take off. Like he wasn't more popular than what he was. Somebody said in the chat that he had like personality issues or whatever. Well, there you go, guys. We reached the end of the omnibus right there. So that's everything that's in this. I think they're going to be doing a volume 2 of the omnibus to do a lot of the what you got. Finch and Benitez, I think, did Cyberforce as well going forward. So this collected most of Silvestri's run, the Killer Instinct crossover, the Todd McFarlane Cyberforce 8 issue, Cyberforce Origin, Cyblade, Striker, Cyberforce Annual, Cyberforce Zero, Walt Simonson. Covered quite a bit. Definitely covered quite a bit. It's definitely, I know you can find this in stores. Definitely the soft cover. But I mean, if you go out,
you can find. But
go out and check it out because it's definitely worth it for your collection. It's nice to see all these old issues collected like this. Good storytelling. There's a Finch. Yeah, that's a David Finch one on on the left there. Cutting corners. Yes, I love cutting corners. There's a Jay Lee. Jay Lee Cyblade right there. Let me pause that. That's badass. Very
That is
distinctive style.
badass.
You can always tell Jay Lee's art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I already got that. Max said, "You guys remember
Javon Kirby.
Javon Kirby?" I don't.
Javon Kirby. He drew Backlash after Booth.
I
Actually,
don't remember that.
I've only read Booth's Backlash, to be honest.
That
Once
goes
he
back to
drew.
the earlier conversation we had in the show, where like if I'm in love with a certain artist on a book, and the next artist that comes is not up to par or just
it's hard.
stylistically too different, I'm gone. You know, I don't give people a lot of chances. There's an early Campbell.
That's a Campbell picture there. Absolutely.
Yep, early Campbell there on the left. Yes, I mean, a lot of guys, when they would leave a book, a lot of times I would leave the book too, because whether or not the artist that came after them was a good artist, if it wasn't a similar style, because that's why I love the book, I was gone. So,
Although I can't say that is the same like for me with the X-Men stuff that I've been through.
I mean, it depends. It depends. Like Jim Lee was great on X-Men early on, right? Then he left, and Art T. Bear did 2 fantastic issues, and then
Yep.
Andy Kubert came and
I
did
even-
a fantastic run. I loved Kubert's work, so it was a smoother transition with something like that than like
I even liked what Ethan Van Sciver did with Grant Morrison stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So this is a quick look. This was the 30th anniversary. You can find this in the stores, although this cover was, I think, exclusive to the Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken. But it's got the back of the book's cool. It's got an interview with Silvestri and a few of the other guys about Cyberforce. It's got a cool look here at some of the original color guides that Chiodo did, some original pages, scans here as well. So I just wanted to show you guys this, because I think it's a cool behind the scenes look at Cyberforce #1.
This is the stuff that I love to read.
Yeah, the interview is very cool. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, you can either pause it and try to read it, or just find this issue in the store and read this interview, because it's fun to listen to these guys talk about, remembering back to this era. And if you ever watch or listen to Rob Liefeld's podcast, or anybody from this era that talks about Image, it's cool to see them reminisce and remember what this was like, because you can tell it was a very fun time in their lives. Comics were fun. The boom was happening. The popularity was going on. This was, to me, when comics were so fun
And
so
fresh.
fun. Yeah, fresh, new.
They were
everything Image was doing.
revamped completely.
Yeah.
So. But we have that here with the indie stuff and the Comicsgate stuff. So.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're looking for that feeling, definitely.
There's that.
This is a kind of, especially like your book, Reaper Destroyer.
Yes, ma'am.
It gives you that kind of 90s nostalgia feeling, but it's modernized. You completely did your own thing. You can tell where the inspiration's from. I mean, you just have such an amazing book.
Thank you. Yeah, and that was the whole idea was to bring that kind of feel back, because I think I'm trying to bring what was fun about comics from my day, of what I loved as a reader, as a collector, and bring that into more of the modern day feel and just update it a little bit. But that's what I'm trying to bring to everybody with Reaper Destroyer. This original color guide here, that the double page spread I was talking about with Impact there, Joe Chiodo's. I want to pause it there because that looks I would love to own that too. I would love to own that. That'd be badass. Jasper, I was at that con too in 96. That's when I met Jim Lee. That's cool.
How old were you when you met Jim Lee?
I was 14.
You're 14?
Yeah, I believe I was 14.
Was that the first con that you went to?
That was the first con. That was the first con I ever went to, because Jim Lee was there. My mom drove me out there. I met Dan Fraga that weekend. Met Jim Lee.
That's so
I met Campbell. I met Campbell too. Yep. I didn't get anything signed by Campbell though. I don't know why.
I never got to cons until I started working them, but I've never attended a con in my life. I've worked a shit ton of them, way too many to even think of from the time I was 21 on. But I've never just attended a con. But I've had great experiences just working them and going to dinner with people and everything.
Yeah, I've done both.
I can't
I've
complain.
attended and been at cons.
But I
Both-
would have loved when I was a kid to like
yeah.
go to these conventions. I know like one person I would have loved to see would have been Jim Valiant, just because his
Oh,
Catwoman book was the first book that I owned, Catwoman issue 2.
that was sick.
Yeah.
Loren, I fuck this up every time.
Larad Mule.
Mule. As the interview stuff was always interesting. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. In fact, there's going to be a book I'm putting out with Reaper Destroyer that's going to have, what I'm trying to do is have interviews with a lot of the creative team when it comes to this book. That's still kind of being put together. So I probably actually shouldn't have said anything about it. But there's a little tease for everybody.
Stop now.
This
Stop
was
now.
actually storyboards of what the Cyberforce cartoon could have looked like. If
They
we
were going
got
to do
the
a cartoon for Cyberforce. I never knew that.
yeah, they
Wow,
were.
I just learned something new.
Yep, it was going to be so. They were originally, I think, going to do a Youngblood Cyberforce, and it was going to
Huh.
be like the Image Hour. It was going to be after X-Men because I think it was for Fox.
Oh
It
yeah,
was going to be like after X-Men and Spider-Man
the
on
X-Men
Saturday
series.
mornings, and then it was going to be
So
Youngblood
great.
Cyberforce. I think, if I remember correctly, from what Liefeld was saying. But then I think the management or whatever changed to Fox, and they went in a different direction. But these are some storyboards that were put together, I believe, by Silvestri for the cartoon. And just judging by this, that cartoon would have looked awesome.
Yeah, it almost kind
judging
of
on the
reminds me of
storyboards.
like Ghost in the Shell a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely has that feel for sure. Henry Muse says, how long were the lines to meet image creators? I remember them being super long when I went to cons in those days. That one wasn't too bad, but then I got in the line pretty early. I never went to a con that had an image creator like in the heyday, like let's say 92 or something, you know. The original Cyberforce logo is my all-time favorite comic book logo. Ugh, just drips with cool. I agree. Astro Zombie,
Absolutely.
member of the channel, says, I met Jay Lee and Marat Michaels at a con. Marat Michaels at a con Vegas a couple weeks ago. Nice. I hear that Jay Lee's a really cool dude. I've talked to Marat before. He's also a really, really awesome dude. I met Jim Ballant at a Motor City Comic Con with Polito when he was drawing Purgatory. Nice. They had Wildcats on Fox. I thought Wildcats was on CBS.
I thought it was on CBS too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on CBS. Wildcats.
I just remember X-Men though, because of that theme song was probably the best theme song for a cartoon ever.
Yep. Spider-Man's theme song was pretty good too. They had some catchy theme songs back there in the cartoons in our day.
Nothing beats the X-Men theme song. I'm sorry.
Okay. Calm down. Jasper said Wildcats and Gen 13 animated are on YouTube. I saw the Gen 13 on YouTube a while back. That was could have been better. Needed nudity. More nudity, as I would say. I'll definitely say that.
Needed more nudity.
All right. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm just gonna whip it out, is what I'm gonna do.
Don't get us banned.
Can't remember. I was so young. It all seemed like one channel back then. Yeah, I feel you. I think we only had 8 channels when I was a kid.
I feel you on that.
I remember that too. So yeah, shout out guys. Reaper Destroyer crossed 800 backers last night. So thank you so much for that. Let's see if I picked up another backer. I did. So earlier I can't remember who it said, but picked up a wraparound cover and the Dale Keown cover, which, by the way, the colors of the Dale Keown cover are out by the legendary Joe Chiodo, looking absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Just look at that gorgeousness.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
I'm so excited to have those guys working on something for me. That's a dream come true. Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll
is awesome.
Top tier, in my opinion. Ninja Scroll is still one of my favorite just movies in general. I think it's just amazing movie.
Sick.
Tubi also has a Wildcats cartoon. Nice.
Tubi got everything.
I'll have to check that out.
It's free. There's just ads. That's it.
let's do it. But I did want to take another shot just for crossing 800, guys. To cross 800 backers on my first campaign is absolutely insane. I'm glad everybody's connecting with this character, the character design, the talent I brought on the book. Got some legendary guys and Joe Weems, Matt Bat Banning, got the great Kyle Ritter doing colors, Dale Keown doing a cover, Joe Chiodo doing the colors for that cover. And I'm talking to another very talented individual that might be coming on the book to help out too, that I will announce coming up. But I'm very excited about this news that I'll be able to share with you guys at some point as well. Where did Chiodo go? Last thing I remember him doing was Harley Ivy of One Shot with Judd Winnick. I think he's doing a lot of color or like a lot of painting and stuff right now. He's still out there. Cool guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. So cheers to all you guys. Thank you so much for helping me cruise past 800 backers. Let's get to 1,000. Let's do it. Love you all.
Cheers to Joe.
Okay. I'm gonna take a Kayla, can you handle the show for 2 seconds?
Can I handle the show for 2 seconds?
Yes. Can you just talk with the chat?
Oh my God. All right.
You're gonna be all right.
Chat?
What I'm gonna do, guys. What I'm gonna do.
You're gonna use the bathroom.
Well, yeah, I probably am gonna use the bathroom for a second. But what I'm gonna do is I've got some original pages from Joe Weems back in my possession.
You know what? I'll go grab my mail.
Well, we can't have two people leave the show at once.
No, it's right behind me. I just gotta.
Oh, okay.
I've
got original pages by Joe Weems.
Hold on, guys.
Return to me. I've got a video I'm gonna drop tomorrow. That's the unboxing of these, but I'm gonna show off one page here in just a little bit because it's absolutely blows my mind. Absolutely, actually, hello, getting to see this stuff in person. Bottoms up. Yeah, see. Kayla's going to talk about RMs and Weep. That's probably true. So yeah, stick around because I'm going to show you some original Reaper Destroyer art here in 2 seconds. I'm going to throw the show to Kayla though because I have to go grab it and I'm going to go take a piss. So I'll be right back. So
I got some stuff that I backed in the mail, so we'll take it from here. So I don't know what you guys have backed lately and what's came in for you guys, but this is definitely something. So I'll figure out what in a second. So let's take a look. Jasper, you want to know about the sharks in Hawaii? Oh, okay. So I swam with sharks without a cage. It was amazing. I think everyone should have the opportunity to do it. You're instructed about, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. The key is with sharks is if you act like prey to something that is a predator, you're going to be prey. So sharks do not like eye contact. They're actually very curious creatures and they do get close to you. I haven't uploaded like my pictures completely like from the Dropbox I was sent onto my computer. I'd show them. Oh, so this here is Dwarfs versus Lions, which holy crap, I can't even open this thing right now. So Henry Bemis, I'm going to talk about our Adams and Weep. No, I won't cry talking about our Adams. I mean, but our Adams is amazing. There is not another artist out there in the universe like our Adams. So, but this is Dwarfs versus Lions. It's a great box. Brian Bovitas that did the Aerith Saga did this campaign here. And I backed the Lion here because I just thought the Lion had the better storyline. This is really cool. I'm digging this.
What do we miss? What I miss? What are we doing?
So this is Brian Bovitas, Aerith Sagas.
Oh, nice.
Stuff. And then he has a bunch of these like blockheads, I think you want to call it, that's in here for the characters. Nice. I mean, I backed the Lion tier because to me, the Lion had... Oh... Shout out to Padrino. So this is, I gotta take this out because I gotta
hold it back up because you froze for a second.
This is so cute. I don't even want to take this out, but the only way you guys are gonna see it good. So I commissioned Padrino because they had a tier, like you could get a sketch from a person. And
Yeah.
Padrino, he was sketching for the Death Cursing. Padrino did my avatar. I'm going to actually have him update my avatar. But Padrino is just an amazing, talented young artist. There is no one that has like the style that he has. And I was basically just like, do whatever you want, because they were
It's pretty
doing like
talented,
dwarf conditions. So he did a dwarf phoenix.
Nice. That's
And
awesome.
that's just awesome. Padrino
He's-
he's so good. If I had the money, like if I
He-
had the money to
He
hire
did the
him
art
to
to
do
that
something.
little Sontag there up there in the corner there. I commissioned
he
him
did?
to do. Yeah.
That was Padrino? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I love Padrino. Padrino is amazing.
Yeah, he did a fantastic
I
job.
simp for Padrino's art. He does women so great and just everything so great. So I was so
Hey
happy
now.
for him that he got work on this book. So there is, I think I accidentally got 2, but these are the peel stickers. So
Hey, Kayla,
mine stickers.
real
Yes.
quick. Hail the lore, and this is something I've been telling Kayla for a while. Kayla should start a YouTube channel doing this sort of stuff and all those comics she has. I've been saying she needs to do her
You
own
guys.
shit. Yep. Been saying it.
I'm thinking about it, guys. I am.
There you go.
Right now, I'm trying to line up some interviews.
If she does,
going
guys, you
on.
gotta make sure you go sub.
I'll
Get
still
those
be
subs
here
up.
though, because I can't escape Joe's channel ever.
Yeah.
Now that I'm invited on here. I love being here. So this is Dwarfs versus
Nice.
Lions. Why does it look mirrored in is my camera mirrored? Is there something
mean,
that I don't know? I guess
Looks
so.
good on this end.
To me, it looks mirrored. So it looks backwards, but yeah, I can't wait to read this. Brian does a great job with all of his campaigns. He definitely invests in quality products, and he cares a lot about how he packages everything. And if Padrino is taking commissions, I highly suggest everybody gets a commission from Padrino, because Padrino is an up and coming artist, and he is going to blow up big at some point in the future. I know it. I have a great eye for artists, especially the young ones that are coming out.
It's true. Especially the young ones.
Especially the young ones that are coming out, like the younger artists. Well, not like that, but like, young, fresh, new talent.
Yeah.
I just want to open this because this one came from Marlton, New Jersey. So if it's from Marlton, New Jersey, then I got to see what it is.
Yep.
So I'm wondering what it is here that I got. I'm gonna be the time to crowdfund is now. I've got a couple things going on. I got a couple ideas, a couple things.
A couple
things. But I won't disappoint. That's for sure.
That's right.
So I'm not going to disappoint with anything I do.
You know
What
the
is
way that
this?
Kayla talks on this channel. You know that whatever she puts out is going to be awesome.
What is this? Someone
That's what I'm
sent.
wondering.
All right, so someone sent me something. I
The
don't
suspense
know.
is killing me.
I don't know what it is, because it's not what I thought it was. This is something else. Because this is a book. I wonder who sent me a book. I was wondering if it was like one of the things from EVS, like if I got one of the campaigns.
That's what I thought when you
from
first
him.
said that.
That's what I thought it was too, but now I'm wondering what it is. So I'm it's probably someone from the shop that sent me something, because you know what? There's one thing. Oh, interesting.
Well, we can't see what this
Okay. All right. So this is
Here we go.
all right. So this is Kelly Jones' Dead Man.
Oh, nice.
Mike Barron did this. So this
Nice.
yes.
We are
so
going to
I
have to look at this.
Yes, we are going to have to look at this. I'm a huge Kelly Jones fan. I actually own single issues of this. I wasn't aware that there was a trade. So I think one of the subs at the comic shop was telling me, because I was like, I got to figure out what my issues are. He was telling me to revisit. I know exactly who sent this to me. So thank you so much if you're watching, because I definitely told him about the channel. This is awesome. I got to be careful because there's titties in this.
Oh, really? All right.
Yes. I mean, we have a great crotch shot here. So
Ooh,
Yes.
look at that.
But just Kelly Jones. I'm a huge Kelly Jones fan. He has a very distinct style. So I have single issues of this, and I ended up when my ceiling
Everybody's
leaked.
jealous of
When I
that,
ended up
by the way.
my ceiling ended up like leaking and
Oh
collapsing. And
no.
guys, you have no clue. And I lost a couple boxes of comic books. So the subscriber at the store, I think, was nice enough to send me this because it's anonymous, but I know who sent me this because they come into the shop quite often, and this is something we talked about. So now I'm gonna have to wait until
Well,
I see him
guys,
in the shop.
we'll definitely take a look at that, and Kayla will have to edit out the boobies so we can put it on
I got a bunch of Kelly Jones
the
stuff,
screen.
guys.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to show you the single issues of it, but I'm missing a few of them from. I have them still. They're just very water damaged. Unfortunately, bags and boards do not protect too much from water when it comes in the way that it came in out of my ceiling.
Mm,
So
that sucks.
yeah, Kelly is amazing. He's an amazing talent. And he's on Twitter now. So follow him. So
I need to do that. I need to follow him. I haven't done that yet.
God, his artwork, it's incredible. His Batman stuff. I mean, he drew Batman different than anybody else. I mean, what he does with
Oh
capes,
yeah.
he is a master with what he does with capes and just the
Very
long
stylish.
ears with the Batman. Even his stuff that he did with the Sandman stuff, there isn't anything that he hasn't done that I don't like, and he is a master of detail as well. So, and
100%.
he's just amazing.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
Before we end the show, no, you did a great job. Did exactly what I need you to do.
What do you
Before
got,
we end the
Joe?
show, there's an original art tier on Reaper Destroyer. It's expensive. But there have been 4 people who've got original art. Those 4 people are guaranteed to get some of the stuff I'm going to show you tomorrow night in the unboxing video. Obviously, I pre-recorded it, so I've already got them unboxed. I'm going to show you a piece here of one of the pages that's not for sale. Like this one is my personal collection. I said this from the get-go. This page was going to be never for sale. This was for me.
What is it?
Uh,
I want to see.
wait, how do I do this? How do I make that bigger? No.
How do you make it? You just had a full screen. Well, I don't know.
Oh, second. I got to change the camera settings. That's what it is. There's a layout setting that. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. So this is page 2 of Reaper Destroyer. This is my pencil's original art board. Let me get rid of all this stuff that's showing here.
Take off the Joe and Sontag stuff here and the banner.
Yeah. Take off the banner.
Take it all off.
Okay. Taking it all off so you guys get a good look at this. This is page 2, Reaper Destroyer, inked by Joe Weems. Original art. I've got a bunch more here that is for sale. A lot of them is already spoken for. Like I said, 4 people have already bought that. This is absolutely gorgeous. Seeing this in person is a religious experience. So here we go. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is a sneak peek. I'm going to have the premiere of this video tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. But this is page 2, Reaper Destroyer, inked by Joe Weems. Is absolutely gorgeous to look at. Seeing this stuff up close and personal.
That is
seeing
beautiful.
the line work, line weight, all that stuff is just
Oh my God. That's orgasmic.
amazing.
Or should I say nerdgasmic?
It's both. It is absolutely both.
The cape. Oh my God.
This is my favorite page of the book so far. I'm still drawing it, obviously, and got some really cool visuals. I can't wait to show you guys. But this is my favorite. This is the first time you see my character in the book. Anybody got the ash can, you know what page this is, and you knew I was going to keep this for myself. Like there was no way I was selling this page.
I feel like you should do something with that. Either make it a print or an alternative cover of some sort or something. Something has to be done with it like that. I mean,
it's so sick.
But people that got the line art book, they'll see that, correct?
Yeah. The line art, you'll get to see this in the line art. Anybody got the ash can got to see the black and white of this, but seeing this, holding this in my hands, seeing it in person, touching it, feeling the ink.
How do you feel?
smelling it. Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, I'll pull it up in the
It's
ash can.
just like, oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable seeing this work. I mean, I've seen the high-res copies that I've obviously shown everybody when I've gotten back, but seeing the actual work in hand.
That's
Oh,
in
there
the
you go.
ash can, guys.
Yep, there it is in the ash can. Yeah, it's incredible. Absolutely
hold on.
incredible.
I'm like, I feel so bad because I feel like I'm fucking like as a collector of comics, like I would never flatten a comic like this. But you can see so much more within what you have right there.
Oh, I know. Like again, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock on my channel, I'm doing a premiere where I unbox all this and we look at the 5 pages I've got back so far. But just seeing them in person is just insane. Like some of the detail, just to get just to look at, not from the high res, where I can just look at it right in person, is great. Just, I mean, learning from the master. Let's see what everyone's saying. Drew G said, "Whoa, wow." Super Jerry said, "That's awesome. I fucked your name up. Ladimule.
Laradamule.
Laradamule. Why can't I get that
All
right?
right.
I'm sorry.
Laradamule, can you put the
Laradamule.
pronunciation of your name within this chat? Por favor.
Rob's claiming that piece. He says, "Give me." Nice. I buy that if I could afford it. Yeah, they are expensive, guys. That is for sure. I appreciate everybody that's backed one of the original art tiers. Definitely. I want to make sure you guys get something that's worth that amount of money that I'm charging for it. Ja Rus is beautiful. I'll fight you, Rob, for it. Chauncey is all fire. That's Bleeding 90s style. Awesome. Hell yeah. Tarks9 said, "Fantastic, Joe. Happy I backed Reaper Destroyer." I'm happy you backed Reaper Destroyer as well. Thank you so much. Artist edition. Yes, the artist edition is going to be. The artist edition is going to be this with script. It's going to be like the full scans. You're going to be able to see. Well, you can't really see with this light, but you're going to be able to see the blue line. You're going to be able to see the Joe Sontag, Weems, Bat, whoever, all that kind of information, any kind of notes I have in there for the inkers.
I mean, and you want that, you guys want that
behind the
destroyer
scenes.
tier. That destroyer tier is going to be completely worth it to everybody that is a fan of this. So,
yeah, if you guys, where's the destroyer tier? Where's it at?
If you have the money to spend, then it's worth it, because what Joe is doing, I don't think there's anybody else right now doing with their campaign, because whatever Joe is adding into the campaign, he is adding to the destroyer tier, from what I know, at least. You're going to get everything. So
Joe replaced Coke with art. I did. Joe just gave that page the smell test. I did. It smelled, it smells like ink. Oh, it smells so good. I got the ash can and I don't even smoke. Oh.
Ooh, I like that. That's a fun line.
Just great to look at. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, guys. All right, here we go. Laradmule. Larad is fine. All right, I'm gonna try that. Larad. We're just gonna go with that. Larad. We need a Reaper Destroyer Artist Edition. Don't sell the pages. I'm only selling 10 of the pages of all the pages that we're doing. I was only gonna be 10, but if you get the Destroyer tier, you don't get an original page of the Destroyer tier. Sorry, guys, but the Destroyer tier gets everything, all the covers, the full foil ash can, the black and white edition, and everything obviously that we have. But yeah, the original art tier. So there's 4 claimed of 10. The original pencils for the ash can cover is available. But if you want to look at get down here, the artist edition is going to look like this. So scan pages, you're going to get the blue lines, whatever paper I use. This is EN right here. It's going to be Reaper Destroyer, page whatever, Joe Sontag plus the inker. This has notes on it right here for the colorist when Brian was coloring it, when I was going with Brian Valenza before I switched to Critter, about some color ideas I had. You're going to have that stuff kind of included in it as well. So this is kind of going to be more or less what the artist edition is going to look like with script. So I think it's going to be kind of unique to what you might see with black and white editions. The full scans of the original pages is what we're looking for.
I'll drink to that.
He was trying to get all the Coke off the page. I will drink to that. I got all the Coke off the page. Trust me. Shit's expensive. That can't go to. Oh, I've already got a shot poured. I didn't even take it. I poured it and I didn't even take it.
Catch up, Joe.
But yeah, this is just to This is to a dream come true. The guys I get to work on with this book, the fact I'm actually able to work on this book, which is a dream. I love this character. I love the story. Which, by the way, I'm going to be doing a video series coming up, diving deep into the story of this book, because I know we've talked about it a little bit, but we haven't talked about it in depth. And to keep me from giving spoilers away, I'm going to do a pre-recorded video so I can make sure that I want to say what I want to say without doing the spoilers. So, shot to everybody. Love you all.
I just took mine. I will say, like, it was like the art in this story is incredible, but the storyline itself is so unique. It is amazing. You know, I'm someone that grew up reading a lot of Chris Claremont stuff. So good writing is important to me. And this story, like in the Ash Can alone, there is stuff that is so intriguing, and there's stuff about the universe that Joe is creating. It is amazing. So
Thank you.
I'm happy to hear this stuff. So
it's a very expansive story. I think that doing a video series, diving more into it, is going to be the best thing than me trying to sit here and explain all the ins and outs about it, because there's a lot involved in it, and it's easy to give away spoilers if you're not careful, and I don't want to do that to anybody, because I want you to discover it as you're reading it.
I agree with you 100%.
Drew G said, I sent you an Instagram message about Volaverse so you can check it out. I need to figure out now after that art page. Sweet. I will check that out after the stream. I appreciate it. How do you like Eon boards over Blue Line Pro? I will tell you that I like Eon boards. As an artist for pencils, the boards I use when I do Eon are the matte, or the flat matte plate, I think is what it is. And they feel really nice. As an artist, pencils, it feels really nice. It flows good. I do know that Weems did not like inking Eon boards. He said that for some reason it didn't handle the inks that he liked to use. So I ended up switching to Strathmore 300 series, which I do like quite a bit. And I guess it's easier to ink on. I've used the Blue Line 400 series on one of the pages that bat inked, that will be available for sale. And he seemed to ink that just fine. That was all right. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I've tried out the Joe Kubert boards. I didn't like those. I thought they were too thin. So right now it's either the Eon boards or the Strathmore 300 series that I like to use. Thank you, brother. Larad. Yes, got it right. Thank you. Cheers to Starks9. Let's see. Kayla, Joe sent you some pictures on Twitter. I did?
Did you?
Kayla, Joe sent you some pictures on Twitter. I have no idea what that means.
I have no idea what that means either.
Need of good stories and art. Or are you saying Kayla, Joe sent you some pictures on Twitter? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Both of you. All right.
You know what? I need to find
I don't remember sending any pictures.
I need to find. So Jay Lee actually has a book series out that's going to be made into a comic book as well.
Ooh, I like this.
Yes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Let me
You should pull up.
Well, hold on a second.
Jay Lee, can you put the link for your book series in here? Hold on.
I'm gonna bring up what he sent me because he's got some cool stuff.
I wonder if I actually want to commission him for another Claymore piece. He did a Claymore piece, and my friend loved it so much I might end up gifting it to her. But I think I want Jay Lee to do a Teresa for me, since Teresa is my favorite Claymore character. I think I might gift it to her because she is so in love with it. And Jay Lee, if you're taking commissions, I would love to have you do a Teresa, since Teresa's my favorite. I have the Claire that you did. Just FYI, DM me.
Henry said, so Joe, when this is completed, are you jumping into book 2 or a different book? And I said, or I'm going to say, I'm jumping right into book 2. Right into book 2. This is an ongoing series that I'm trying to do as long as I can do it. I want to expand Superior Press. I'm going to have other artists, other writers come on and do other stories, but Reaper Destroyer 2 is coming right after Reaper Destroyer 1, and that's going to be Reaper Destroyer 3, 4, 5, ongoing as much as I can do. This is a story I'm passionate about, a character that I absolutely love, and I want to draw it as long as I can draw it.
I think that this series, just based on the universe that Joe is creating and just everything that's going
Oh,
on with these characters. And I think it could easily go on for 50 plus issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
100%. Oh, wow. I'm not sure what kind of Teresa that I would want. I just love
Ooh.
Teresa. She was my favorite character in all of Claymore. I would want you to surprise me, Jay Lee. I'd want you to do something that is definitely a surprise to me.
There's a
So
signed ballistic. I got to make sure because I got my DMs open. So I'm gonna bring this up. Wait, I don't want to dox anybody. Here we go.
stop sending nudes.
I know. Stop sending nudes. Stop sending dick pics. There's a sign.
Look at the
There's a
Witchblades.
Witchblade.
Oh,
Look at
I love
that.
Witchblade.
And jealous of your collection, man. What else
I'm
you got?
so jealous too. Yes, Jay Lee, just DM me. Absolutely. DM me. We'll figure it out. Rad
Ooh,
Mule said the Awakening Claymore, the designs are all amazing. Claymore, hands down, is one of the greatest fantasy
that sign
animes.
stuff. Look at all that.
That Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I'm
If it,
jealous, man. I'm jealous.
I'm glad Rad Mule knows what Claymore
look at that.
is. Claymore is amazing. It
Jaylee's
is
just dropping. He's just making
Jesus
everybody
Christ.
jealous. He's like, I'm gonna
so
just
jealous
flex
right
on
now.
everybody.
Jaylee, do you have anything signed by Chris Claremont? Do you have stuff signed by Art Adams? I have some Art
I
Adams
bet he
signed
does.
stuff. I can't even say shit. I have some Art Adams signed stuff. I
All right,
actually
let's see. Oh, this is
there's
cool.
actually an Art Adams book
Last
I
one.
want to show on this channel that no one really knows about that I think would be cool to show.
That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That is I've
Emerald Knights.
All right, the
100,
Wolverine. So that Wolverine, the code name Wolverine Top Secret, that was such a fucking cool looking book, that cover and everything.
Hell yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
I
So
believe she. Nice.
Chris Claremont, I wanted to go see at a con when I was working, but I
That's
didn't
awesome,
get a
man. Thank you
chance
for
to.
sharing.
Like I'm so jealous. I was talking about Chris Claremont and he looked in my direction and he kind of like nodded at me because I was like, oh my god, Chris Claremont's here. He hasn't worked cons in forever. Like I probably would have cried if I met Chris Claremont too. Real talk. It wouldn't have just been Art Adams. It would have been Chris Claremont as well. Like, thank you for writing the Dark Phoenix saga. I can see it going down now.
So I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this.
Oh my god. I'm reading the
Sorcotic
comments ahead of you.
Sorcotic Studios. Did you want me to show this layout?
Yes.
Let me know.
Show it.
Okay, hold on a second. I have Claremont stuff signed. He was cool as hell. I'd love to meet Claremont. I got to sit in the workshop he did. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Art Adams and Chris Claremont. Nice.
I love Art Adams.
That's how I met Prince. Oh, Purple Rain.
Like the singer Prince? Like
Claremont is one of us. I'm convinced he might be.
Claremont just doesn't give a fuck. I feel like he is on another level in general. I don't know what he is. I don't care what he is. I fucking love that man. That man can write books like no one else.
What's the name of your book? I forgot.
Sarcotic Studios. Do you want to put the name of your book? Sarcotic. Yeah. Like think like psychotic, like crazy
Sarcotic.
Bitches. Sarcotic.
Okay. Sarcotic. Yeah, put the name of your book and I'll bring this up. So this was something that he and I have been talking about. But I want to get some information straight. First. That's Jay Lee's book is designs, yeah. Oh, there we go. Doc Quasar. Okay, so Sarcotic reached out to me and asked if he could guest star Reaper Destroyer on a cover for Doc Quasar coming up. And I said, of course, let's do it. So this is a rough layout he sent me for it. I think that's
I love that. I love that.
I dig that.
The only thing I would personally change is I would have Reaper Destroyer's cape going out more. But I understand not wanting to lose like the buildings. I just think that Reaper, like the character, Matt's Reaper Destroyer and everything. I just think like that the cape could do a little bit more. But I love that whole concept. Sorry, not being a hater, just being honest. This is just my perspective of it. I just think there needs to be a little bit more with the cape. That's just my personal
You could do a lot with the
opinion.
cape if you want it. It depends on how much of the background you want to cover up, because his cape, essentially his cape in the book could be endless if you really wanted it to be. I've never really tested like how big it is, but it's pretty fucking damn big.
I would bring
Big
the
cape.
buildings up more in the background.
But I
would
like it, man.
do a little bit less negative space. This is just me, my opinion personally, which I edit for Death Curse, so I can't help myself, and a buzzed, so it's a truth serum with the tequila. I mean,
No,
I
that's
just
awesome though, man. I
that's
appreciate you
fucking sick.
sharing. Yeah, I like that. I like how it's looking. Good deal, man. Good deal. And I love everybody that is digging Reaper Destroyer. I love the fan art that's out there. I love the fact that people love the design so much they want to put them on covers, and you have crossovers and all these things that people have messaged me about. That's great. That just makes me feel real good. And I can't wait for the story to get out and you guys to actually dive into it. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm glad I struck a chord with the readers, the people that I'm actually, trying to get out there. And the book is gauged to the people that are my age that love the Image Comics era, but hopefully also gets the newer readers, the modern readers as well, and gets them into good storytelling, good art, all that kind of stuff.
That design is probably the most iconic indie design out right now. So
I'll take it.
That's my opinion personally. I'm sure there are others that feel the same way. Yes. Okay, I'm glad Sarcotic Studios doesn't hate me. He said he's been playing with the cape. I just realized now that I can click comments on Indiegogo. Like on, not Indiegogo, I mean on this YouTube stream here.
Oh, on the YouTube. Oh, yeah.
I just realized I can click comments and see it on the side and not have to look at my phone. So that's kind of cool. So I've been playing with the cape. It's a fun design element. Yes, it is. It's sick.
It is. That's why I designed it that way.
I love capes. I'm just a cape person.
I created the design because it was fun to draw, and that other artists that have talked to me about it have talked about how fun he is to draw as well. And like that was the point. Like I wanted to make something that's just, I'm drawing it every, essentially every panel that he's in, every book that I'm going to be drawing. I want to make sure that I'm having fun always drawing this character, and why not create something that just, you can do so much different stuff with his cape and different poses and all that kind of stuff. Like that, when that goes into character design, that was the first thing that I thought, like, if I have to draw this dude a million times, by the time I'm done drawing, he better be fucking fun to draw. And that's what I made. Eeyore's Lost Tale says, oh my God, you got fucking fan art going. Can that be put in the ongoing book like Pitt did? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about reaching out to everybody that's done fan art for me and seeing if they would care if I published it like in the back of the issue 1 fan art section or something like that. Because there has been so much Reaper Destroyer art done over the course of this year. I've lost track. I've lost track of the amount of people that have drawn the character, and I think it's absolutely awesome. It's because I just finished my collection of Battle Royale manga. I highly recommend it.
Oh, Battle Royale is actually a good series. Definitely.
Joe, pull up the pic I sent you. Tell me, do you think my art looks like Turner's? All right, hold on a second.
You know what? I see Turner in Jay Lee's art. I don't give a shit. Jay Lee, I know that you said that you learned a lot from Jim Lee, but I see Turner in your artwork. I do.
Henry Beamer said, Joe, or thanks for remembering what made comics cool, Joe. Absolutely. Like that's my passion is comic books. Like, yes, I was in the music world for 10 years, but like I grew up wanting to be a comic book artist, reading comics since I was a young kid. I think I came up in the most fun era of comic books, and that was what was fun. That was what was passionate, energetic, and that's what I want to bring back to what I'm doing in comics and what's missing in comics today, and what I think that Comicsgate and independent comics are doing way better than the mainstream. So I'm all about bringing that sense with Reaper Destroyer, and anything I put out through Superior Press as we go is going to have that feel and that kind of nostalgia shot in the arm, but updated for today's kind of feel. Like that's what this company is about. Yes, great idea. Fan art for Reaper Destroyer.
I think it's a great idea too.
Okay, so Little Rad said, "Damn, what a beauty!" So this is good. I like this, man. I do see a little bit of Turner in there for sure.
In the So like Jay
Go ahead.
Lee, when I got my commission for the Claire, like he did it during some kind of draw stream and I wanted to buy it because it was great. I really loved it and I love Claymore as a series as a whole. And I thought Jay Lee did justice to the character of Claire from Claymore. He sent me some artwork from the Steins. It wasn't like this, it was some other artwork, and I saw a lot of Michael Turner within that piece. In particular, which I like one week when we're streaming, I have to pull it out. I just don't know where it is right now, to be honest. Because it was in the frame with the Claire piece, but I took it out because he put everything behind the frame. He packed everything so well. So shout out to Jay Lee for the packing job. It was great. Jay Lee is a very good artist. So
Sorry, we're just putting this, taking the opportunity to put that page away. Okay, I'm back.
Putting it in your secret stash. You don't want anyone
I
to know where
put
it is.
back. I looked over and I was like, oh, I need to put that back in the cell.
If Joe's house gets broken into, you won't be able to find that print. You can take everything else that's in the background.
Yeah, I started to get paranoid. I was like, oh shit. Like, yes, he picked he's picking Mary. Yes, I did that on purpose as a honoree to Turner. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. It gave me Turner vibes in a great way. It like in the best way possible.
I like the window in the background. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing. Keep that up. Keep that up. All right, guys, we've been going for a little over 3 hours. I think we've exhausted the Cyberforce Omnibus. All I have to say is if you get a chance, go check it out. It's got some fantastic art. A lot of artists in it. It's got all the books you could ever want to get caught up on the story and just really dive into the awesomeness of that era of Top Cow. If you get a chance, please go check out Reaper Destroyer on Indiegogo now. There is a link in the description below in the YouTube channel if you're watching this live or you're watching this after we've streamed. But we crossed over 800 backers. I appreciate every one of you. Get the Destroyer tier. Destroyer tier is absolutely everything you want in this campaign, except for the original art, but it's going to have well over a $200 value. This thing is sitting at right now a $300 value. We're going to be dropping another mystery book here in a little while. I'm still putting together an idea. I had an idea and I changed the idea. I think this one is going to be a lot more cool. We got the colors into the Dale Keown cover, colored by Joe Chiodo, the master himself. This is a Pit #1 homage. I'm getting everybody that was involved with Pit #1 on this cover, including obviously Dale Keown, Joe Chiodo doing the colors, and Chance Wolf is going to mock up the Reaper Destroyer cover or logo with that iconic Pit splatter and make it look like the Pit book. So this is going to look pretty badass when it's done. I did have requests when I released this of doing a virgin cover of this. So if I get enough people interested in that, I might put a virgin cover available up on the campaign as well. And if I do, that will be in the Destroyer tier, which was never planned for. So again, I keep adding things into that Destroyer tier for a $200 value. You're getting well over $300 worth of stuff in that. I got the wraparound cover by myself. By Matt Bat Banning, inked this, and Kyle Ritter is in the process of coloring it. I know he's got some health stuff going on right now, so shout out to Critter. Hope you're feeling better. And yeah, that's about it. So everyone check that out if you haven't checked it out. Link below. And Kayla, what would you like to promote before we get out of here?
I don't have anything to promote this week.
Nothing.
So I guess it's just like back Reaper Destroyer. I will be doing some interviews again on the Death Curse channel. I'm just trying to sort things out. Other than that, follow me on Twitter with Comics and Cleve. My DMs are always open to talk about comics, and I'll be here next Tuesday. So I guess I'll see you all next Tuesday.
We will. Oh, speaking of next Tuesday, so we are going to have a different kind of show next Tuesday. Hold on a second. Let me pull.
Are we?
We are. I forgot to tell you about this.
This is news to me.
Two things. I got to show you guys before I get out of here too.
What are we doing?
Okay, so first, before I tell you about who we're going to have on next week to hang out with,
who are we going to have on?
I want to show you guys this. So this is the artwork, the $40,000 stretch goal, which we've passed since, was a Clayton Barton full foil print that everybody's going to be getting that back the campaign. Anybody that backs the campaign going forward. This is the finished colors by Dan Kemp. So this is Clayton Barton absolutely killing it on this. This is going to be a full foil print, guys. Clayton put his all into this. Absolutely just killed it on this Reaper Destroyer design. I mean, look at some of this. Look at the line work on here, guys. I got to get in here close.
God damn those Barton brothers.
I'm telling you, those Barton brothers, those dudes
they're
are
fucking incredible. Like,
look at this line work. Gorgeous. I love everything about it.
I love the moon. I'm a big moon person.
I think that was actually edited by Dan. I think Dan Kemp put that in there.
Really?
I can't remember. I have to look at the black and white again. But yeah, this was just brilliantly done by Clayton. Yes. Just killed this, knocked it out of the park. The design is great. I liked his own kind of take that he put on with the character. And then Dan came in and just colored the fuck out of this and made it look just absolutely gorgeous. So this is going to be a comic book size print that everybody that backed the campaign is going to get full foil. A full foil print for everybody that backed the campaign now or in the future. So I just wanted to show that off. I forgot I was going to do that. And shout out to Clayton, man. I'm a huge fan of his art, just like I'm a huge fan of Corey's work. So getting those guys, or this Clayton right now, to do a piece for me was awesome. I'm going to be getting Corey to do something for me as well.
Yeah, they got to compete with each other.
Yeah, you guys will see in the future. So yeah, this is one of the stretch goals, guys. Finally done. When it's printed up, it's going to be full foil, so it's going to look even more beautiful. I gotta say. Yeah. Everybody's loving that. Yeah. Everybody's loving that. Telling you, those Barton brothers, fuckers, definitely getting Batman vibes. Yeah, and this character, is Batman, Spawn, friggin' Moon Knight, the Guyver. I mean, there's a lot of characters, a lot of caped characters that he's based off to. Ragman, yeah, Ragman is another character. Before I get out of here, one last thing. I do have memberships on this channel. It's a monetized channel. I can have membership. If you are a member to the channel, you are getting exclusive behind the scenes look at the making of Reaper Destroyer. When I do page layouts, panel layouts, finished pages, inked pages, color pages, you guys that are members of the channel are going to be able to get to see them first. So this is an example of what you get to see while I'm working on the book. This is a loose page or loose layout to a page I'm working on right now. And only the members of the channel get to see this. Obviously, I'm showing you guys now because I'm trying to get more members to the channel. But only the members of the channel get to see stuff like this on a regular basis as I'm working on the book, from the loose layout stage to the finished pencils to the inks when the colors come back. If you want a good look at the book as it's coming together, become a member of this channel. It's $4.99 a month. Plus, we're doing 4-month art giveaways, original art that I'll give away every 4 months to my members as well. So that's it. Next Tuesday, we are having on inker Sal Regula. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Regala, I think.
Regala, thank you. But Wildstorm Inker came up through Wildstorm, was hired by Jim Lee, worked with Brett Booth on all those early Wildstorm issues. He's working with Brett Booth right now on the Lost Serpent prints and also doing some Gunslinger Spawn stuff. He's going to come on. We're going to talk to him about his career. Might do an ink demo. So that's still in the works.
I get to be here for this?
Yes. So that is tentatively for next Tuesday's show. So show up for that, 10 o'clock. That's going to be a very, very fun show. I can't wait for that. And I think that's it. I think I am all out of everything. Let me find my outro here so I can give the wrap up to the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Everyone have a great, great day. And as always, picture me naked. I'll talk to y'all later.